That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah! 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 This show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun. There's no chewy center to this show. It's all hard candy. This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 4-year-old boy podcast. That was an aggressive hey. I don't know if I cared for that hey. Should we retake that hey? Might have to double back and rethink that hay. You know, I'm already rethinking that hay, but I don't know if I can double back and retake that hay, because if I have to retake that hay, then we have to start all over. And folks, I am on a time limit. I am right now. I got to tell you, there's a metronome clicking. Perhaps you can hear it in the background. No, that's not a smoke alarm. That's not a, what was the other thing? A radon alert? What did we have going on that one time? Didn't you have some bullshit in your house and everybody heard it in their earbuds and you and I didn't hear a fucking thing? And everybody wrote me and they're like, dude, what the fuck? Why is there a chimp in your house? And I'm like, there's no chimp. I didn't hear a chimp. And then it turned out there was a chimp. I don't notice anything. When I go into show mode, folks, it's tunnel vision. I throw on some horse-like blinders, and I just stare straight ahead right at Lily and her rack. And it's like, done, let's just talk. I talk right into those two, and I go, testing, testing. And our friend Lily, of course, is here. She's the producer of this show. You may have heard her coughing a second ago, and now you hear her yawning. Oh, boy, this is going to be a great show, folks. She's yawning 9 seconds in. Holy God, that's bad. Well, there's a reason she's yawning, and I'll tell you what it is. We are here early today, folks. This is an early record. Sometimes I'll tell you that there's a late record. Sometimes it's dark outside. This is early. I mean, it's like 9 a.m., and that's fucking crazy. And let's talk about that for just a second, by the way. 9 a.m. I'm here, and I'll tell you why a little later. But I'm here at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, which is November. No, what is it? Is it November? Is it March? I can't remember exactly. It's, you know what? It's actually Wednesday, March 16th. That's what it is. So no, it's still November. You said? Is that what you say? Don't sigh. Quit. You've yawned and you've sighed already. I know I dragged you out of bed and got you here early. And look, we are in the home stretch of the Hollywood Burlesque Festival, folks. So every moment of Lily Von Stup's time is precious. I have to beg and borrow and steal and plead just to see the woman because she is so busy. She is, if she's not having a meeting with insurance companies, she's off having a discussion with Richard Simmons. And it's like, well, I don't know how you juggle this life. I don't know how you make that happen. I don't know why you'd ever want to talk to Richard Simmons in your life, but go ahead. That's what you need to do because she is very close now with Richard Simmons because he runs the Slimmons Dancing Studio and he's in drag and like all of the photos I see, and he's wearing like a boa and makeup, and it's like, and look, there was never a secret about Richard and his persuasions. There was never a secret about Richard and his predilections, but I didn't know he had given himself over to full-blown cartoon. I mean, I didn't know that had happened.
I didn't know that was a predilection. Cartoon?
Yeah, well, that's, I mean,
actually a cartoon.
he is the human embodiment of the cartoon noise. That's who Richard Simmons is. He is a guy in a boa and lipstick and glitter and the hair and the shorts, and it's just, and look, I knew he was sort of a cartoon because he was playing the role on talk shows, but now he's just like, he's like, fuck it. You know what I'm doing? I'm being fabulous all the goddamn time. And you know you're there. And I always see photos of you and Red Snapper, and you're lurking behind Richard Simmons and as he's competing with you in a fabulous contest. And I don't know why. Look, he's not going to defeat either of you in a fabulous contest.
Oh, he won everyone.
Disappointing. I don't think so. You can go ahead and award him that, and that's fine. He's a good guy. I hear he's the fantastic man, and he's the nicest guy in the world, and now he's involved in the Hollywood Burlesque Festival because his mom was a burlesque dancer, and then there's an award that's named for his mom, and he's going to present it, and he's going to be there, and I almost want to be there. Like, what night am I bouncing? It turns out, folks, that I may be bouncing at the Hollywood Burlesque Festival.
You're not so much bouncing as you're there for backup.
I'm presence. That's why I'm...
muzzle.
What'd you say it was?
In case I need muzzle.
You need muzzle?
I need muzzle. It's
I am the wrong guy to bring if you need muzzle. Believe me, I am clearly not the muzzle guy. And I'm not the muscle guy yet either. I am vascular. Clearly I am vascular, but I am not yet yoked. Until I am yoked. I will. Yeah, I'll just choke somebody with a vein. I'll pull it out of my arm like a goddamn Garrett, and I'll just fucking strangle him right there. It'll be like fucking, we'll do it like Carlo in the fucking Godfather. Whoever gets in trouble, I'll go, look, I got to talk to you in this car. You sit in the front seat. I'll sit behind him, rip a vein out of my arm, and fucking strangle him. And he'll kick out the windshield. Carlo, he's a fucking dick. You know what? That guy's the worst. He fucking had Sonny killed. Don't like it. I don't like it. I love Sonny. Sonny's a hothead, and Sonny kind of deserved it because Sonny had done some terrible things. But that's fine. I mean, you know what? If you wanted to be Carlo, if you want to side with Carlo, people, I guess that's how you do your things. That's how you live your life. I can't side with Carlo. And you know who else I can't side with? Fredo. Because I knew it was Fredo and he broke my heart. All right. So I may be bouncing at the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. My favorite part is when Lily's like, "You're not so much bouncing as you are there if I need backup muscle." Guess what that is? Bouncing. That's exactly what it is.
I'm like hiring you to do that, but I'm
Wait a minute, you're not? Hold on a second. Let's back up a second. So I'm just showing up and patrolling the hallways on my own? I'm a vigilante? I don't want to be a vigilante at the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. Wait, maybe I do. Holy shit, can I wear a cape? If I can wear a cape, I'll do it. But then again, if I wear a cape at the Hollywood Burlesque Festival, you know who I am? Everybody else. I guarantee everyone in the world is going to have a fucking cape at that event. It's going to look like the worst superhero convention with just glitter and Richard Simmons and like, holy fuck, that can't happen.
How about if we give you one of those orange hall monitors?
Oh, like a sash?
Yeah.
That'd be totally awesome. And I'll write people up. Hey, no running in the hallway. And put a fucking pair of pants on, nudie. Just naked with a cape. Oh, dude, that's by the way, it's my favorite mystery thriller from when I was a kid, Naked with a Cape. Oh, Jesus Christ. It was a Sam Spade adventure. Sam Spade in Naked with a Cape. It was terrible. It was a guy who worked on Broadway, and he went a little crazy, a little tetched. But they didn't know what it was back then. That's what they called it, crazy and tetched. But it turned out he just had Alzheimer's and he forgot his clothes. And everybody's like, hey, the emperor has no clothes. Well, he has a cape. That's clothes. And then he wraps it around himself, Dracula style, and nobody can see the emperor's bits. I call them bits because I'm English. Well, I'm sort of English. Well, I mean, I speak English, right? Sort of. What do I know, folks? I'm just backup muzzle. So I'm bouncing at the Hollywood Burlesque Festival. So it's like I'm used to that because I used to bounce at venues, as you know, and I also I was security at venues, and they were like, you can't watch the concert, and that's all I did was watch the fucking concert. I would just sit there in front, although I didn't. When I'm in the front of the venue, I can't turn around. I told the Madonna story, right, on here, about when I bounced at Madonna, when I worked security at Madonna's show. Oh, okay. Well, I'm told like Insane Clown, but when I bounced at the House of Blues. Well, when I was bouncing, I was not bouncing, I was working security for concerts. I told the Slayer story on here. But I worked at Madonna shows at the Sports Arena on the Vogue tour. And I don't know why this happened, but they would assign people to places in the venues. There'd be guys way up in the fucking rafters because you guys have gone to concerts and see dudes in yellow jackets, and you're just like, oh Christ, that guy's got to check my ticket, and that's what I worked for. It was called CSC, which was event coordinators or something. I don't know what the fuck it was. Oh, by the way, let's talk about this for a second. Our friend John Waltz, who is on this show and is recovering, he's in a battle right now, a battle with cancer. He's taking it down. John, this is weird. He's taking his battle with cancer very seriously. He wears a singlet, like a wrestling singlet. Then he does a wrestling stance like he's actually wrestling cancer. Strange, but good for you. Whatever you want to do, John. If you want to wear a wrestling singlet and battle cancer, that's fine. I'm not, and you know what I do? I'm just here. I'm the reporter, folks. I'm just here to tell America about John Waltz and his predilection for singlets and his battling of cancer in them. Although he wore singlets even before cancer showed up. I got to be honest. I met John in Kansas City. He came to the show. He walked up in a singlet. I'm like, why are you wearing a singlet? He's like, you never know what might happen. Sure enough, 2 years later, he gets cancer. Guy's ready for it. Let's go. And he went, thank God I'm in my singlet. I can wrestle cancer to the ground and pin it. But cancer's elusive, folks, and it's unfortunately, you don't want to go 2 out of 3 falls with cancer. If you got to pin it the first time and then hope that it slinks away in defeat and you never have to see it again, because the odds are with cancer. If you have to give it 2 out of 3 falls, I'm going to give cancer the edge. I think if I'm a betting man and you go 2 out of 3 falls with cancer, I apologize. You're my friend, all of you out there, but I would have to bet on cancer. I don't know where I could get that line. That seems like the weirdest offshore banking account, casino in the world. What if you could wager on cancer against a guy? That'd be fucking genius. But if you bet on like Michael Douglas surviving it, you win like huge money. You know what you win? You win Michael Douglas money. That's fucking great. Dude, I bet on Michael Douglas to beat cancer, and then he did, and now I'm as rich as Michael Douglas. But now that leaves you open for what? An attack from cancer. Because it's only rich guys who get cancer. That's incorrect. There's a lot of poor people who get cancer. Dude, how fucking terrible would it be to be poor and get cancer and like live in the street? And then and first of all, hobos don't have singlets, so they can't take cancer on one-on-one. They have to get friends. They have to go ahead and fucking gather together like a whole homeless jaunt, a whole homeless group of people, a homeless junta. A homeless junta. What the hell was I talking about before that happened? Before we went on the homeless junta and we wore a singlet and battled cancer. We were talking about cancer. What if I did the whole show on cancer? What if I did a Soundberg cancer cast? Because I've been touched by cancer. We've all been touched by cancer. I wasn't literally touched by cancer. Ugh, that'd be horrible. I could never wash my hands enough. But I've had cancer orbiting around me in my look. Cancer rules everything around me. Yeah, God damn it. Yeah,
What are you talking about bouncing at Madonna?
Cancer rules everything around me. Oh, Wu-Tang. Look, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. All right, we know that, correct? I did not bounce at the Wu-Tang Clan show. I did not because whenever there's a show where black guys are singing, they put white guy outside because black guy does not listen to white guy. No matter what John Candy will tell you in Stripes. He said the black guys teach the white guys. Now let's talk about this for just a second. Yes, we should. I love Stripes. Stripes is the fucking greatest. You need to watch it. There's so many great things about it. It's fucking brilliant. There's so many lines. It's a fucking amazing show. But where is the turn in the script that John Candy is a racist? Like all of a sudden, for no reason, John Candy becomes a racist to start a fight with a black guy because he's like so offended that black guys would have to teach him how to dance. I mean, and look, John Candy's not a good guy in that movie. We get that, right? Because he's just fucking joining the army to get away from everything, and he's trying to lose weight, and then he fucking takes the cruiser for all of his money in poker, and he fucking cheats, and he looks at his cards. John Candy, look, if you want to be a card cheat, that's fine. If you want to go crazy like Curly and beat up 3 chicks in a mud pit, good for you. I'm board with you. That's what you should do. Oh my God, what if John Candy wore a singlet? He should have because he died. John, if you would have just worn a singlet, you could have taken on whatever it was, heart attack or fucking beef heart or whatever he died from. He died of fat. John Candy just died of fat. No, it was Captain Beefheart. That's who killed John Candy. Captain Beefheart murdered John Candy. And if John Candy would have just had a singlet, he could have fought him off. Jesus Christ. Candy, wear a singlet. You could fight him off. Actually, I think John Candy died of a broken heart. All right, so, which is actually true. He had a heart attack, and his heart broke under the weight of many racks of ribs. When John Candy died, they should have televised his funeral in Canada and ended it with a crane shot. Johnny LaRue style. Because Johnny LaRue always wanted the crane shot. Dining with LaRue is the greatest. Dude, SCTV is the greatest. I don't know this. People out there, you know this. You're Canadian. You've got to write me a note. You don't have to write me a note. Yes, you do. You have to write it in ink with a feather pen, and you have to seal it with your own wax brand, and then you have to have a pigeon carry it to me. That's how I want all of my correspondence. No more emails. You guys can no longer get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can get me at my P.O. box, but it has to be delivered by bird. I only read correspondence delivered by bird. I am strictly now an aviary reader. That's all I am. Actually, I'm an ornithological reader, right? Isn't that the study of birds? Ornithology? All right. I'm fascinated by ornithology. So the only things I do are ornithological. What if I did things illogically? Well, I don't know what that would be. I would have to have all my letters delivered by retarded birds.
My God.
Illogical. Ornithological. That's retarded birds who are like homing pigeons. How would you ever get it?
Illogical does not mean you're retarded.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It does for birds.
Oh my God.
Their brains are so tiny. They're like marbles. Dude, I would totally... Oh, dude, you know what we should do? Get a bunch of birds, kill them, open their skulls, and make their brains into marbles and have a marble shootout with bird brains. Oh my God, it's awesome. What a brilliant idea. Not really. We don't want to kill those birds. I'll tell you what. If birds die of natural causes... If birds get cancer and die, we will take their brains and make marbles out of them. Okay? Is that what we're going to do? So you know what that means? Every bird right now should put on a singlet. They don't want that to happen. Birds don't want to die of natural causes. I don't think a bird has ever died of natural causes. I think every bird has ever been killed has been killed by a gun, a rock, or a car. That's it. Gun, rock, car. I picture birds in school when they grow up. They just have 3 boards. And there's just a picture of a gun, a picture of a rock, and a picture of a car. And they're like, everything else is great. You're fine. You will live forever if you don't run into these 3 things. And then sure enough, a rock flies through the school and kills the teacher. Oh my God, it's perfect. And you know who did that? The teacher himself hired a guy to throw a rock and kill him to teach a lesson because that's how they do it in the bird schools. That's how they do it in bird society. They actually sacrifice themselves to teach birds to survive. And then the most noble profession for a bird is teacher because they saw their own teacher be killed by a rock and they're like, fuck, I got to do that. So they grow up and they experience, they sow their bird wild oats, but then they become a teacher in the bird school and they know inevitably they're going to be killed by a stone. I guess really humans could be killed by a rock, a car, or a gun too. But birds only are. We can be. That's the difference. We can be killed by that, but birds are only killed by that. Otherwise, they live forever. They're eternal. Birds are eternal. And I know you're thinking that's ornithological, but it is. No, it's true. Ornithological. That's a lot of L's. All right. You okay? What the hell was that? It sounded like your lung came out. You are so free. You just make me laugh because it's, you know what's
I'm
funny?
exhausted.
I know you are. And I'm exhausting you with my verbal linguicity. I'm with my crazy up and
I
downs.
just want to know what happened at the Madonna concert.
Oh, you're so sad. Look at you. You're so sad.
And I
Um,
knew you're never gonna tell us.
what? Oh, Lily, why are you so bummed? The reason I brought up John Waltz is because he wants you to have a microphone.
Well, he's wrong.
Well, he does, and but that's the thing. That's what people don't understand is you don't want one. It's not like I'm the one who's like, fuck that, you can't have one, because I'm afraid you'll interrupt my bird school rant.
True.
uh, so no, she refuses to have one. I even tried to go toxic twins with her a few times, and she won't talk. It's terrible. I lean forward with the microphone. I'm like right now. I'm leaning forward. Hold on. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna lean forward. No, she's like literally. She's an inch from my face. She's just an inch from my face, and she won't talk. Why don't you say anything? Now, look, I'm just gonna run over and make huge noises. She's far away. She's too far away for me to get completely close.
Oh no.
Oh
You
God,
can't make me.
you don't want to talk. You don't want to say
About
anything.
Madonna? Just talk directly to me and tell me about the Madonna story. I want to hear the Madonna story.
I don't know why you're trying to keep me on track. It's fun to go off track.
No, I just.
Unless you're a train, it is not fun for a train to go off track. Everything else in the world is fine to go off track, but if you're a train, fuck it, stay on the track. I got to warn you right now. Did you know Mex was in a train accident? Mex was totally in a train accident. He was actually on the tracks. The train hit him and it fucking destroyed it. So because Mex is Superman, did I mention that? Did I ever tell you guys that? He was hit by a locomotive. He's also more powerful than Silent E, my friend David Hernandez.
Oh my god.
That's a Letterman reference. All right. He's more powerful than Silent E. Letterman. The Adventures of Letterman. Wow, wow, wow. Who narrated Letterman? Joan Rivers. All right, so, yeah. Apparently Letterman wasn't in a union. She's a terrible person now. She wouldn't go to bat for her writers. I have friends who wrote on that show. Now they're off. They're like off telling. And then, all right, look. When I say I have friends who wrote on that show, I mean I have acquaintances or people that I knew, and they're still squeaky wheeling it. You know what I mean? They're gone and they're trying to get notice, and the show continues without the writers. They have whatever non-writers or whatever the fuck they have. Maybe Melissa's in a sweatshop or something. They hired like 6 Chinese kids to just fucking churn out whatever Joan spits in your face. Joan Rivers is a cobra, right? She's no longer a human. She's actually morphed into a cobra.
Yes.
She's like Medusa, but like she's all snake. She's got real hair and she's a snake instead of being a real person with snake hair. Medusa was a real person, right? And then she could turn you into stone, but if you looked at her, that's got to be a rough first date. Jesus Christ. I just made a Medusa first date joke. Somebody kill me. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to tear my own vein out and strangle my own self. I'm going to hang myself with it because, again, vascular. Listen. You listen to this noise. That's my veins flexing. All right, so I bet if I put can you hear my blood going through those veins? That's fucking thick. It's thick as this microphone cord. Yeah, that's right. Look at it. Oh my God, my forearm is so powerful. All right, just one though. The other one's not. It's atrophied. I let it go. Yeah. No, I go double fisted. I jerk off both hands. I've done it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Is that how you keep your left forearm and your right forearm?
That's how I stay so fat. That's why they're right in there. They're so yeah, because I go to the gym and I work them both out, but then when I go home, I got to work them both out too. And it's you got to hold the phone with one hand. So sometimes I switch the phone into the right hand and I go left hand jerk off. Look, we all do that, right? You guys jerk off with both hands, don't you? Please tell me you do.
Taking pictures of your cock the whole time?
I don't. Nah, I don't take. All right. You want to talk about that?
No, I don't.
No, I think you do. I think you brought it up. No, I don't snap photos of myself jerking off. I'm not that vain, for fuck's sake. I mean, if it again, like I told you, I will take pictures and they will lean or they will look good, and sometimes they look good, and sometimes you save them, and sometimes you put them in a little file. But and sometimes you have them on your phone just in case. You never know what's going to happen. You never know when you have to fucking throw a fusillade of cock photos at people. And I have, please don't kid yourselves. But every time you guys send me a note or you write me or you want, because you're always like, I want Mike's phone number, and then I give you my phone number. But please know that if I have your phone number, eventually, sometime, you're going to be the person who gets like a crazy cock photo.
No.
And by crazy, I mean he'll have a little hat on. All right, so it'll be a crazy. Yeah, actually, I mean a crazy cock like he's insane. He's retarded like the birds. My cock's retarded. Did I ever tell you that? Oh, it's so awful. What are you shaking your head for? What, you got something to say? You need a microphone. No, I don't take pictures of myself jerking off, but I will tell you this. All right. Oh fuck. I don't know if this is something I should go into. Probably not.
Nothing sacred.
All right, well, one time there may have been happening. All right, there may have been. It's funny you would mention taking pictures of yourself while you're jerking off because, all right, Jesus, this is weird.
Really?
Yes, it is. Because I look all of my pictures are still life with cock. All right, I mean, it's just they're not doing anything. He's not having a tea party. It's not like I'm like, oh, check this out, and he's got a smile on his face. No, it's just there, but it'll look good. It'll look good in contrast to the jeans, or it'll look good coming out of all right, whatever. Who cares? Nobody wants to know anything about the composition of cock photos, or do you? So, but one time, as an experiment, as we've all done, folks, I'm sure all of us have done this one time or another. Because look, like everybody's made a sex tape, and everyone's done all these weird things. You've made a sex tape, haven't you, Lily?
Everyone's made a sex
Everyone in the world has tried it. Once there was that technology, everybody did it. I'm not saying they were good at it. I'm not saying they kept it. I'm not saying they were like, oh my God, this is fantastic, and they made more. But everybody went, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to film you blowing me, honey. How's that sound? And the wife was like, I don't know, maybe? And then the wife blew the guy, and then he filmed her anyway without her knowing, and then it turned into a fight, and then he left. He didn't leave, she left. Why would he leave? He's got a wife who will blow him on camera. Surreptitiously. It all started with Bob Crane. It's his fault.
Yeah.
It is. He was the one who started it. There was no porn until Bob Crane came along and started filming shit.
There was a lot.
No, there was no porn at all until Bob Crane came along. Hogan's Heroes is responsible for internet porn. It is. Hogan's Heroes is responsible. Hogan's Heroes is responsible for the proliferation of internet porn. And they actually called the cast of Hogan's Heroes before an internet, like a congressional subcommittee, to ask them what they thought about the proliferation of internet porn. And you know what they said collectively? I know nothing. They said Sergeant Schultz will speak for all of us. How do you feel about the proliferation of pornography due to Bob Crane and his filming things? Boy, the legalese broke down there at the end. Bob Crane and his filming things. The senators got tired of all the fucking back and forth. And then Richard Simmons came in and gave him an award. And threw glitter everywhere. Richard Simmons is like Rip Taylor, but with like push-ups. Like, that's just crazy to me. And his own hair. He's still got his own hair, right, Simmons? That's not a wig. Yeah, so Simmons is like, he's just Rip Taylor with hi-ya-yas. That's it. That's a fucking exercise, right? Hi-ya-ya, right? I think so. I don't know. I believe it was when you were a kid, you had to do that. There's Alaman lefts. There's hi-ya-yas. Alaman left is square dancing. Did you ever have to take square dancing when you were in school?
I didn't have to. I did.
Yeah, you didn't have to. That's my favorite thing you've ever said. I wanted to. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm taking the square dancing class.
We had it in gym. Like, it was so depressing because that would be because we did things for 3 weeks at a time in gym, and so they'd be like 3 weeks of square dancing. Like, oh god damn it, I don't want to bow to my partner and bow to my corner. I can't do that. But sure enough, 2 weeks in, I'm bowing to my partner and bowing to my fucking corner, and then I'm Alaman lefting. That's what I did. I Alaman left all over the goddamn auditorium, and I got pretty good at it. I won't lie. I Alaman left with my left hand. Ding 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 ding. I don't know why I had somebody playing a bicycle bell. That was what we danced to. That was the square dance music. Was a bicycle bell. Ding 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 ding. And we danced to the Ponderosa theme, apparently. Or Bonanza. It's the same thing, right? Bonanza and Ponderosa. They're both bad steak restaurants. Are they both bad television shows? Or no, Bonanza was the show. And that was Lauren Green and...
You named 2 restaurants after that.
Yeah, there's a Bonanza and a Ponderosa. Ponderosa was the ranch. Bonanza was the steak place. Bonanza is the name of the show, and Ponderosa was the name of the ranch. But then there were 2 steak places called the Bonanza and the Ponderosa. But this is not to be confused with the show Gunsmoke, which took place on the Sizzler plantain. Look, folks, when you talk at the speed of your head, sometimes you run into a wall.
What happened to Madonna?
I don't know what you're talking about. There was a story a couple of weeks ago I started to tell about Madonna, and everybody was like pissed that I didn't finish it. So I think I'm going to finish it. And it's just stupid. It's just dumb. It means nothing. It's just silly. But when I was in school, I was in high school.
Oh my god.
And what? What are you doing? I know it's early. Look, it's so early. And let's talk about this for just a goddamn second. It is early, so I had to come over here at 9 a.m., all right, to come over to Lily's house, which is normally 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes in the car. But But I just had to, fucking welcome to the working week because I had to go out there on the highway with you people and your fucking lives. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yesterday, I had to go super early to the airport, and then today I had to fucking drive super early, and I don't get it. Get out of your cars, folks. We need to just have a revolution in this country where nobody works before 11. I mean, what the fuck? I'm in the car at 8:30 on the freeway, and I even sent Lily a note, and I'm just like, I said, what did I say? I was like, I said, efforting. God damn this rat race. Because that's exactly what it was. It was just people in their cars. And dude, this is not a joke. I'm not kidding, all right? Yesterday I had to get to the airport. I had to get to LAX from the Valley. So I had to fucking, I knew that getting on the 405 was death. So that was not going to happen. So there's many alternate ways you can take. You can take cold water across, in the Mulholland and then Santa Monica. You can go down Laurel Canyon and take La Cienega. But here's the thing about Laurel Canyon. I like taking Laurel Canyon, but it's one lane. So if you get on there and it's not moving, you want to murder everybody. Because on the freeway, if it's not moving, you can at least go into another lane that's not moving and pretend that you're making some sort of progress. But on fucking Laurel Canyon, it is absolute death. And all you want to do is that U-turn. You want to make that fucking U-turn at the last second. But I knew it was going to take at least, I figured, an hour and a half in my car to get to the airport yesterday. I was in the car for 2 hours and 15 minutes. From my house, 25 miles. That's it. 25 miles, it went 2 hours and 15 minutes. Because here's the way, the way I chose, I didn't go Laurel Canyon, La Cienega. I didn't go Coldwater. I didn't go 405. Here's where I went, Sepulveda. I figured Sepulveda was the good way to go. Dude, so did everybody else in the goddamn world. There was a big meeting where everybody went, yeah, Sepulveda's the way to go. Let's fuck Mike Schmidt tomorrow morning. And I was like, God damn it. God damn it. Look, if you want to fuck me, just come to my house. All right? You don't have to do it on Sepulveda Boulevard. I am there and I'm there with all comers. The door's unlocked. Come inside. Remind me to finish that other story. No, that's your job. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't have a microphone. It's not like you're burdened with the talking part of this. I am. And I just explained the fact that birds are eternal unless they're killed by a gun, a car, or a rock. Gun. That's what they play instead of rock, paper, scissors. Birds. They play gun, car, rock. We can do that. If you did, you know what? Here's how we would do it. If you go 1, 2, gun, 1, 2, rock, 1, 2, car. Car is you pretend like you're steering a car. What are you doing?
I'm gonna film that.
You're gonna film it?
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. Gun, car, rock is we're changing it, folks. Rock, paper, scissors is finished. It's overplayed. It's played out. You know why? Because I ever see that people where they're like the national champions of rock, paper, scissors. Fuck you. Look, it's not a real game if there's not pieces. You ready? So it's all right. So this is all right. She's filming me. All right, so if you're going to play rock, paper, scissors, you know how to play that, right? With the bang, bang, bang. Well, if you're going to play gun, paper, rock. No, not gun, paper, rock. Gun, rock, car. So it's gun, rock, car. Gun, rock, car. That's how you play gun, rock, car. That's the plan, folks. So now we're getting rock, paper, scissors, and we're taking it away. You going to put that up now?
Oh, no.
No, you're going to save that? You know, you're going to save that. You're going to watch it when it's late at night.
I'm gonna put it up tomorrow.
No, you just want to see my vascular forearms at night. No. You're going to be like laying down sleeping and you're going to be like, I got to watch Mike's hands. No. You're going to be, and
Madonna.
Literally, Eddie's going to be in one room and you're going to be in the bedroom and he's just going to hear this. And you're going to go, he's going to, what's going on in there? And you're going to go, gun, rock, car. And by the way, if you ever want to scare birds away, do this. They know exactly what you're doing. You're playing gun, rock, car. Because they play it and they know that humans are playing it, then they know I'm on to them. I'm fucking on to them. Even the retarded birds, the ornithological birds. Ornithological. There's a lot of L's. Again, it's a lot of L's, folks. You know who was really good at gun, rock, car? Leather Tuscadero. Go home, jailbirds. That's Sheriff Kirk. Remember when Tom Bosley had to wear Fonzie's jacket and he came in? It was just like, hey, we're shop owners. And they all snapped the fingers. Oh, I would think about when I watched Happy Days and I loved it. And then you watch it now and you're like, oh my God, I loved that. But it's just so senseless. Remember when Richie called Fonzie a nerd and people like lost their minds? They were just like, oh my God, Richie actually called Fonzie a nerd. Because he goes, put him up, Fonz, you nerd. And I remember they did that. Well, of course, it's contrived. The studio audience was like, ooh. I don't think anybody was really that worried about Fonzie beating up Richie. I mean, they knew it was fake, right? They knew it was a show. Are you worried? Really?
Could happen at any time.
All right. That's right. Gun, rock, car. I got to practice. You know why? You never know when a wayward pigeon is going to challenge you. And here's the dirty little secret about gun, rock, car. When you're a bird, we play it for fun because we're human beings, whatever. We just do it for fun to pass some time and have some joyful times with our friends. But for birds, it's fucking life or death because Gun Rock Car is their version of Russian roulette. It's a pact you enter into the second you get your wings. And if anyone ever challenges you to Gun Rock Car and you lose, well, because, gun beats rock, but car beats gun. No, gun beats car, but rock beats car. No. Gun beats car, rock beats gun, and car beats rock. No. Gun beats car.
I think this is all falling apart.
No, it's not. No, trust me. Gun beats car. Rock beats gun. Car beats rock. There you go.
How does a car beat a rock?
Because it runs it over. It crushes it into fucking dust.
The car would break its windshield.
But that's just the windshield, but the car still motors on. And the rock is spent. That's his best shot. A gun, well, look, a rock can't beat a gun. Because you would shoot the fuck out of a rock.
Well,
I would fucking murder a rock.
You just said that rock beats gun.
No, I said car beats rock.
And rock beats gun and gun beats car. So it's
Oh, rock, yeah, well, no, rock beats gun because it can smash the gun. Smash the gun, smash the gun!
falling apart.
We gotta get a bird in here to get these rules straight. Oh, I'll get there. Probably. So look, I don't take pictures of myself jerking off. I really don't. I promise, I swear. However,
Oh, God.
we've all done this. Like I said, we've all made a sex tape. We've all decided at one point or another that we needed to go ahead and make a decision in our lives to go ahead and film or tape something that we shouldn't have. Right? Right. And look, we've all had imaginary contests when jerking off to see how quick you can do it or how slow you can do it and see where you can and see how far you can shoot it. We've all done this.
No, we haven't.
Yes, we have.
No.
Yes, we have. Well, if you haven't, get divorced. I guarantee you will. You will all of a sudden, or just be a teenager. Every teenager has done it. Come on. Every guy listening to this right now had that one night where they said, I'm just going to jerk off all night and see how many times I can do this. Everybody did it. You never went ahead and said, you know what? I'm going to see how many times I can have an orgasm by myself. I mean, other than last night. Really? You never took matters into your own hands and went, let's just do this over and over. See, ladies are different. Because once they have their time, well, I guess no, their time is another thing. No, because they're all shaky and all that, and then maybe they don't want to go back until they need time to rest. Like when you're a teenager and a teenage guy, forget about it. I mean, all you're doing is you're just painting the walls at that point. All right, so, but I guarantee every guy listening here has had that one night where they just went, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking jerk off until I'm done. That's it. I'm literally until I'm empty, until a bell goes off. That's Jimmy Pardo's fucking one of his greatest jokes. I won't say it. I don't want to give away Jimmy's material, but it made me laugh hard. So we all did that. But then the advent of technology and the cameras and things like that. Well, I take photos of my cock, and I've done it. I don't take photos. It's not like I'm doing it now, but I have in the past. It's not like I do it every goddamn day. But I will tell you this. One time I thought, I was like, all right, because again, there's technology. And I was bored. So I was like, all right, well, you know what I'm going to do? I didn't want to film it because that just seems ridiculous. Because then you got to, if you film yourself jerking off, you got to watch it at that point. And it's like, you got to watch it back. And it's like, I can't do that. I mean, looking at the picture is one thing, but the filming, no thanks. Because then I got to buy it nice clothes. You know what I mean? I got to get I got to put a little coat on my cock and then like undress him. And then there's got to be music and I got to hire a Foley editor. Why would I have a Foley? What would the sound of me jerking off be?
Oh my God.
It would just be,
I want to know.
well, I mean, I would make them make a crazy noise. Like maybe that. Rock beats cock. Gun rock, gun car cock. All right. So,
Oh my God.
there's like 9 different things we're talking about. What are they?
I just want to know what happened at the Madonna concert.
I thought for sure I told that story. That's the thing, is I'm worried about it. All right. I must have.
I hate you.
Don't hate me.
You are so not good at
No, it's just so early. It's so early.
It is.
And just driving on the goddamn, I'm shell shocked by you people and all the fucking traveling that you have to do. And yes, you people.
And yet you drive.
Well, you have to drive. Everybody has to drive.
That's what you do part-time.
Well, because that's totally different. If I had to fucking drive on the highway and deliver shit. Fuck that. Oh, dude, let's talk about this for a second. Here's something that happened to me. I had to deliver. Oh, should I tell this story?
Tell a story.
That's the name of the show. Clearly. I don't know if you can underline it or convey how desperately that was uttered. But that is clearly the name of the show. I mean, there's not even an argument. There's not even an argument. Tell a story. So if you see the title of the show, that know that that's how it was supposed to be said. Tell a story. Dumb fuck. Quit talking about retarded birds and all the other bullshit.
With you this morning, it is too early.
Tell a story. Anything.
I can handle it.
Anything with a through line.
Honestly, you've got like 12 stories going.
Kind
on.
of.
My head is.
Because it's early. Because I'm awake. I don't want to be awake this early and then to drive and to deal with the fucking traffic. And the best part is nobody can write me an email to tell me bad things about it because I'm only accepting correspondence via Bird. So I would imagine in 3 weeks I'm going to get a flood of correspondence about this show. Courtesy of a fucking darkening sky flock of ravens.
Oh my god.
All retarded, flying in circles. Although it is November, so I don't know if we'll have any retarded birds to see me because they've all flown mouth for the winter. I just made a retarded bird joke. And not a retarded, bird joke. I made a joke about retarded birds. Again. They're so ornithological. That's a lot of L's. I love it. All right. I got plates spinning, folks. I'm trying to keep them from falling. All right. I mean, that is absolutely the name. All right. So, folks, so I happened to be in a place where I was in a hotel and I was bored. And I had done all of the internet stuff that I could. And I had reached the end of the internet. And I had spent an hour at motherless.com, which is a terrible, terrible place. Don't go there, folks. I don't know. Look, all right. We're weird in America. We got a bunch of shit going on. I can't even imagine. Like, if you ever see a documentary on Russia, just know that those buildings are filled with 18-year-old people having sex and filming it and putting it on the internet because it is all of the entire nation, the entire like country of Russia is just, it's Hostel, the movie. Every building you see, whether it's the Kremlin, if I don't even know if that exists anymore, any apartment building, any fucking borscht house that you see is filled with people and webcams, and they're fucking and putting it on the internet. That's all Russia is. Their chief export is hatred of gays and internet porn. That's fucking, I mean, Russia is crazy, crazy. So, I mean, it is just insane. And motherless.com is just filled with it. And motherless.com is creepy because it's like, you'll be like, oh, I just want to see some good old healthy porn. That's all I want to do is just run off a batch and go to sleep. And then you're on a school bus in India and you're like, oh my God, get this off. Hey, we went to a movie theater in Bangladesh. Watch what happened. Oh my God, no. Horrifying. And then you're skipping, and I'll open like 3 different browsers. Like I'm looking at Motherless on 3 different screens because it takes a while for stuff to load. That's terrible. When you go on a fucking crazy porn jag and you're just like mainlining it, and you got 3 windows going at once, and you're just sitting there staring at it, and you're like, God damn it, I can't even beat off. I can't wait to see what happens here. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing better than a good porn mystery. I like to open 3 porn screens on motherless.com at once, and then I take bets in my head about which one will load first. Will it be screen number 1, screen number 2, screen number 3, or me? Because honestly, there's a banner ad that's got my attention, and I might not even wait for the screens to load. I'm just about to make my desk sticky in seconds because of an ad for enlarge your cock. All right. So I was bored. I was in a hotel, and I went on a porn jag. I won't lie. It was one of those things where you just kind of mainline it, and it's like you've got Xtube open and fucking Motherless.com and all these windows, and you're looking, and it's terrible, folks. I've done terrible things to myself as a person. Left-handed, right-handed, both-handed. It doesn't matter. And you're just, and that's what you're doing. You're just watching it happen, and it's unfolding before you because your whole life's ahead of you, folks, and you've got it all there in those screens. As I'm watching what's happening in Russia, and because at the end with Motherless, the guy who, like, the person who uploads it, if you see a video that you like or that's weird, it has the name of the guy who uploaded it. Well, you can click on him and see all the shit that he's uploaded.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's so funny. There's like, dude, there's porn out there that you don't even know. Like, you don't even know that it existed. Because, like, we all know what, like, splashing is, right? So, when you see what splashing is and you're just like, I don't get that. And then people want to get stepped on. There's guys who want to kick in the balls. I mean, there's just all this fucking weird shit out there. There's a bunch of dudes who just jerk off on trains and film themselves. Like, they jerk off, like, on subways. There's dudes, I think I talked about it here, about the guys who want to get caught by the maids. Did I talk about that on here? There's maid porn out there. Maid, M-A-I-D. Like guys who are jerking off in bed and they set up their webcam and then the woman will knock for like housekeeping and they don't say anything and they just jerk off and they wait for them to walk in and they catch their response. And then the woman walks out. And it's just like, I don't get because again, it's not, are you hoping the maid one time finally goes, hey, well, what's going on here, fella? Or you need a towel or a hand? I mean, you're not in a real life porn. You're a fat guy in a hotel room in Cleveland. No maid has ever walked in and saw a fat guy jerking off and went, hey, wait a second, I think I'm in on this. No, it never happened. Stop with the maid porn. These poor women have come over here from Honduras, and all they want to do is dust your dresser. And no, that's not a fucking euphemism for help you jerk off. God, I hope that little woman from Honduras comes in here and dusts my dresser. Oh, yeah, oh, God. And it's never a guy jerking off that you would want to stop and help jerk off. Because we've all seen those dudes. I've seen dudes jerking off and I'm like, well, I'd help that guy if he asked, probably, nicely. But it's always just some like crazy, horrible fat dude with earbuds. And that's my favorite part, is they have earbuds in to pretend like they didn't hear the knock. And then they're watching like internet porn on the computer, but then they have another computer filming. This is an expensive hobby, this filming yourself jerking off for maids. Literally, the technological setup that guy has to capture himself jerking off is larger than the gross national product of the country that the woman who walked in is from. If you've got to set up like a fucking sliver house to get the woman from Guam to watch you squirt in your own eye, get the fuck out of here. Get a girlfriend, all right? Jesus Christ. And yes, I call it a sliver house. Ooh, actually, that's like the worst reality show ever. Sliver house. Ugh. It would just be jagged wood everywhere, and everywhere you walked, like if you touched a banister or anything, you'd just get a sliver. And they'd have medical staff on hand to fucking remove it. It'd be a game. That's a great game. Let's get a house. We'll call it the Sliver House. Yes. And then 10 people will live in Sliver House, and the last guy to not get a sliver is the winner. And he wins all the money. He wins the house. Oh my God, there we go. We did it. I just created Sliver House. We have fucking Sliver House, and it's just this jagged wood and all sorts of fucking planks and terribleness and anything. The fridge is made of wood. Everything is made of wood. So you have to just not get a sliver. That's the whole thing. You have to live your life. The shower is made of wood. You sleep in a wood bed. And if you get a sliver, you're out. Out, God damn it. But if you the last guy standing, last guy sliverless, the last sliverless dude wins Sliver House. And then they remake it into a palace for you. All the wood is gone. They put in plastic. Or no, they don't cover it with plastic. They make a house, like a real house. But you win the Sliver House. Dude, we can't make the homeless play this game, right? That's just cruel. That's like bum fights. Remember bum fights? Yeah. I don't like bum fights. This show it took a sad turn, right? So I brought up bum fights. But that was, you know what? Fuck bum fights, because I had that idea before they did. But it wasn't for bum fights. Did I ever tell this story? Dude, when I worked at Load Media, not to be confused with me loading screens and loading possibly in a hotel room. Load Media was the fucking media company, and I was the writer. I was the head writer, and I brought in Pat as my co-head writer, and we wrote a bunch of sketches, and then we hired a bunch of guys. I've talked about that on here. One day I'll tell the whole story. Maybe I think I have told the whole story. What the fuck do I care? I haven't told tell a story. But one of the ideas I pitched, because the guy who ran the place was a terrible, terrible person, who I found out now is actually, and I should have known, with Twitter and stuff, he's back in the game. Like he's a pundit, and he's an ultra conservative pundit. He was just goddamn what a terrible person he was. And I will not say his name, but he was the guy who called me into his office and said, "I can do what you do. You're not special. Anything that you think that you can do that I can't do, you are wrong, because I can do whatever the fuck you do, and I can do it better than you." And I was like, "Why did you hire me then? Because I don't have time to do what you do." Just a cunt of a man. And I defy him to listen to the show and try to reproduce the ornithological expedition of birds and fucking all the talk about the retarded birds. I dare you. You can't do that better than me. So at Load, one of the ideas I pitched was the Homeless Olympics, where we would go out and we would surreptitiously, we would get like 4 homeless dudes and make them run a 100-yard dash. And we'd get 4 homeless dudes and we would like make a javelin out of like a broomstick. And then we would have them run like a homeless decathlon where they had to jump into a dumpster and jump out. And then the hurdles that they had to clear were like, I pitched the idea, and he loved it, of course, because he's a fucking animal. But I pitched it as a goof, like but I thought it would work because we would give them money and stuff like that. We weren't just going to be terrible to the homeless and exploit them. But it was still exploitive. I mean, come on, or exploitative, or certainly ornithological. So I'm in a hotel room. I got 3 screens going. I got both wrists in action, taking turns alternating because sometimes you gotta. Who cares? This is me breaking down a jerk off session that you guys don't want to hear about. But there's a reason. Because Lily just brought it up. Because Lily's been curious about this for a while. She and I were talking about it off camera. We're not on camera. Well, that gets to that. No, it doesn't. What if it did? What if I tied it up that was the whole tie up. I jerked off to Madonna. That was the whole story. Well, you're building up the Madonna thing like it's something big now, because it's not going to be big.
I don't know what it is.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just a thing that happened, and I swear to God, I talked about it. But also when I was a kid, I did the Madonna thing that I was supposed to tell from a couple of weeks ago. All right, I get to talk about that first. Well, no, first let's deal with this. Let's finish this story. I don't know what led me to think this was a good idea. All right?
No.
I don't. But I mean, I've taken pictures. We've talked about that before. And yes, I'm a weirdo. And yes, I'm this. And everybody thinks I'm crazy. And fine. But Lily mentioned taking pictures while you're jerking off. And it's like, there's no point in that. Because then the star of the show is actually getting covered up by a co-star. You don't want that. But I decided that I was going to try to take a picture of the end result. Does that make any sense? An action photo, if it were, if you will. Because there's no point in showing you jerking off, because so what? Everybody jerks off. But what you want to see is the actual aftermath. You want to see, and you want to try to catch it. Like there was all this. Remember those commercials for Canon when they would show like John Newcomb and John McEnroe playing, tennis in Australia, and they would show like the, and you would see like a serve and like really quick. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to catch an action shot. So I laid in bed and I jerked off and I thought of John Newcomb, the tennis player, and his bristly mustache. Oh my. By the way, I still think that the funniest thing I've said today is there are some guys that if I saw them jerking off, I would stop and help, but other guys I would not. Oh man. So I got 3 screens going, and I got to tell you, this was hard to do because I'm in a hotel room and it started at the desk. Okay. Well, because I have my laptop. So, I mean, I can't, where else am I going to bring my... I'm at the front desk. This is how it works. It started at the front desk. I started jerking off, and they were like, exactly what are you planning to do here? And I said, I'm making a short film. How short depends on you. And they said, well, please take this somewhere else. No, it started at the desk in my hotel. And by the way, from now on, every time you check in a hotel, think of this story. Because I'm in an office chair, looking at my internet laptop porn, like 9 different screens, and I'm jerking off. Why not? And I'm switching hands, and I'm doing this. And then that's when I got the big idea where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to take an action shot of this. So I had to move the action, because I will tell you this too. I've never had a payoff at the desk. I refuse to do that because that's just horrifying. Because then what do? You're gonna fucking you're gonna shoot on the rug, or you're gonna shoot on the fucking desk itself. Like I can't do that. Or you can point up and I can just shoot on my chest, I guess, if I wanted to. But I've never had a payoff at the desk in my many sessions in a hotel. Whenever we're in that area, we're going to shift the action and we're going to move over to the bed because that's where that action should take place. What's wrong with you?
I need to wash my brain.
Well, just because it's bad, or you're just
Too much information.
Is this
too early in the morning?
All right, I'll stop. Should I stop? All right, folks. No, Lily has pointed out that this is probably really tough for you to take, and I don't blame it.
Listening to this at 9 in the morning?
Well, that's true. Just us. We are. Yeah, now it's 9:48 or something like that. Probably. That's my guess. But now, all right. Are you horrified by this? Should I shift gears?
I'm not horrified. Honestly, I'm like, who breaks down when you're like there and you're close going, it's time to leave the desk?
Well, I don't get close enough. I mean, well, look, when you're in a porn hole, because you're always looking for the better porn clip to fucking finish to. So it's like, I'll get close and then I go, wow, I'm tired of this clip. I got to find another clip. Or you open the windows or switch the windows. Again, it's a sickness. I'm not going to lie to you folks. It's just, and it doesn't happen all the time. So it's not like I need to go to a fucking meeting or anything. This isn't choke, but I mean, I do. Sure. Well, eventually I'm sure some lovely woman will come and take me away from all this, especially after hearing this fucking breakdown. Wait a minute, you jerk off to 4 different screens of porn at a desk and then you move on to a different place? Yes. That's how I do it. I'm like Billy from the Family Circus with jerking off in a hotel room. Just fucking follow the dotted line all over the goddamn place. That's how it works. I start at the desk, I walk over to the chair, I walk over to the shower, I walk over to the bed, and then, I say hello to the dog, I climb into a tree, there's a rope swing, I jump on that for a while. By the way, you know who jerked off in a hotel room with a rope swing? David Carradine. It did not work out well. Come on, in the moment to pull that? A listener was mad that I never made that connection with Tweaked Audio. He was like, I listened to the show, tweakedaudio.com, autoerotic asphyxiation, and you were talking about walking the earth like Kung Fu, and I was waiting desperately for you to talk about David Carradine, and you didn't. But what he doesn't know was in Green Bay, I did. Like, it came up and I mentioned it. And so that's why I wrote, I go, you should have been in Green Bay. And then I thought, well, what does that mean? Like, why? Because I would have joined him in jerking off in my hotel and we would have hanged ourselves. I mean, it was just like the weirdest invitation ever. Should have been in Green Bay because that's what I did. I jerked off and hanged myself. I don't know if I'm a breath play guy. I don't know if that works. I've never because again, I have enough trouble with belts as it is. No. Absolutely not at the desk. Nothing happens at the desk. Everything starts at the desk. All right? We get revved up at the desk. That's where it starts. But then we got a Billy from Family Circus all over the hotel room and the hotel itself, and then we finish somewhere appropriate. You can't finish at the desk. Nobody finishes at the desk. That's horrible.
Oh my God.
Because again, I've been in a billion hotels. And also, I should tell you, I'm not naked in an office chair. I make use of the fine little flap on my boxer briefs and hello. Then my friend comes out, or I can come out the side. I actually pull him to the side and that kind of thing. But it's like, people need to know this because I'm not an animal who's jerking off naked in a fucking hotel room in a fucking office chair. But again, every time you go into a hotel, think of this story. Because this is the kind of thing people are doing. People like me, this horrible guy. I'm just the guy who'll tell you, folks, I'm your Sherpa. I'm your jerk off Sherpa. That's who I am. I'm the hotel beat off Sherpa. That's who I am. I'm going to tell you all about it.
Holy shit.
All right. So I guess you start at the desk and you get revved up and there's like 4 screens and you're doing this and you're switching hands and everything's happening. And then you're like, you know what I got to do? I got to get to the bed. Because, and eventually, and this could take, it could take an hour. It could take a while. I mean, look, because sometimes you want fast food and sometimes you want to go gourmet restaurant. So sometimes you're like, I got to jerk off so I can go to sleep. And sometimes you're like, well, I've got a couple of hours to luxuriate in myself and befoul this room. Let's do it. Man, this is weird. You know what? I can't even, this is weird with you, but not really weird with you. But it would probably be weird with like people. Like if I talked about this in front of people, because they'd just be like, why are you telling all, I mean, because this is a lot of beat off talk. It really is. You know what's funny?
That's the name.
No, that is not. The name of the show is Tell a Story. Beat Off Talk is the other podcast I'm going to start. Look, we have the Jerk Off Journals already as part of the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network. Those guys, I mean, they do an amazing job. They do amazing work. So I guess I'm kind of, you know what? I feel bad. I should apologize to them. When we finish the show, I got to call them because I'm cribbing their time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to be upset. But hopefully they'll understand. I'll just call them and they'll find out. One guy's in like a beat off yoga class. He does the thing called the salted pretzel. All right, so the salty pretzel, I think it's called. So I had momentum. What was I saying before you rudely interrupted me?
Something about Madonna.
Oh, no, I was going to say that. You can't wait to hear that story, and it's going to be nothing. There's no payoff to it whatsoever. Wait a minute. You want to talk about Madonna, but I'm telling you, I'm breaking down a monumental event. I am talking about something with real weight, with real import. And yet you want to talk about some frivolous pop star like Madonna. So I was going to tell you this. I went and saw Renee to get waxed like a month ago or something. And then I put it on Facebook and I was like, guess where I am? It was the picture of the waxing place. And a girl I grew up with who's married to a good friend of mine. Because again, I forget, you know, those people don't know anything about me really. I mean, they know me and literally, I don't think they know my name is Mike, the guys I grew up with. I mean, the guys do, but like the wives are all just like, I think there's like, oh, Mike, that's my name to them. Oh, Mike. So a friend of mine from way back high school, who's married to one of the guys I grew up with, and all she wrote, and I think it's even in like all lowercase letters, like 'cause I think she was just so horrified that this is all she could get out, but all she just wrote was TMI. That's all she wrote because I was at the wax joint. TMI. And then I was actually mad because Mex liked it. I'm like, dude, what are you doing liking that? You can't be liking that. Dude, you live in the world of TMI. Two Mex information. You're the M in TMI, for fuck's sake, David. And then he liked it. I'm like, oh, don't encourage them to hate me. They already hate me. They don't need your fucking help in hating me. But what made me laugh about it was like, because now I think about it, like, what if that was the thing where she went, I can't believe he does that. Oh, he does that stupid show on the internet. Well, it can't be that bad. Well, I better go ahead and listen to it once.
God.
And this is the week she listens. Like, this is the fucking week. She's going to be like, oh my God, he came here for Christmas once. That guy can't touch my kid on the head. I think she actually tousled my kid's hair. Get him out of here. Two mic information. That's what it is. TMI means two mic information. So, I'm in the hotel and I make a decision that it's time. It's time. And then, all right, let me tell you about a little. Oh God, I can't even believe I'm going to say this. I can't believe I'm doing this. I should just fucking stop. Forget it. All right. Well, no, because it's as I say it. Even I know I'm thinking part of this is too much information. Like the point. All right. I don't care. I'm just going to say this, and it's going to be terrible. And I'm going to warn you right now. If you want to turn this off, go right ahead. Or if you want, you know what? We should do two shows this week, and we'll give people the option of like a show just like about baby chicks and babies. You know what I mean? Like ducks and infants. Ducks and infants. That's the name of the show. Yeah, I'll do like a nice show where I tell a cool story about petting a dog or something.
No.
Nobody wants to hear this. All right, let me just say this, and I mean this. I apologize to you folks who have to hear this now. You know what? And this is going to sound weird. This would be so much easier if someone else was here talking with me about it. Like, as a crazy person just talking into the sky, it just sounds weird. I need someone here to just go, yeah, I get that. You know what I mean? Like, or no, I don't get that. Maybe there would be some sort of interplay there. But just telling you, because now I'm just foisting it upon you, and you can't stop me, and there's nobody here to talk me out of it. Lily's already tuned out. She's just staring at the internet.
Talk you out of it. I keep asking about Madonna.
I'll get there, I'm sure, at some point. But it's just, I know, because I think about it now, and I'm like, because again, look, this is a comedy show. Ostensibly, this is a comedy show. But it also has some elements of truth to it. I mean, there's also some things here. So I figured, why not tell you something that happened? And it's like, yay. But this is not a yay story. This is absolutely not a story where anybody says yay. Not in the listening, not in the telling, and certainly not in the doing. But also at the same time, folks, we're all grown-ups. We're all adults. We've all made a choice, a conscious choice to listen to the show or say these things. I didn't really make a conscious choice. I'm just talking, man. I never at one point did I decide, I can't wait to tell this. No, it's just come up. It's come up organically, folks. And that's how I like to do most things. I like to come up organically. So I'm at the desk and things are happening, and then it's like I say we got to move this action, and I say it out loud that way. I do that on purpose. I do it out loud. We got to move this action. I actually said it to myself in the room. We got to move this action. And then I have to take the laptop off the desk and bring it over to the bed, because why not? I could watch from across the room, but the hell with that. So I go to grab the laptop. Now I got to get my hands free because I got to unplug the laptop, and then also I have a hard drive, plugged into the computer that I have to disconnect because that's where all my music is, and I don't need my music for this, folks. I can tell you that. I've got the music in me, and I'm about to shoot it out. So I go ahead and I'm going to move over, and I'll tell you this. So I get there and I got 4 screens, and I've moved to the bed, and we're ready for the grand finale. And then in my head I go, hey, wait a minute. You know what? This has been going on for quite a while, and when that happens, folks, there's a boy. How do I explain this? There's a buildup. Does that make sense? And so that's so in my head I was like, wow. And I actually made the decision. And again, this is stupid. Okay, and it's something that I don't know if and maybe men out there can agree with me, or maybe men cannot agree with me, but in your tiny brain somewhere, you measure your virility by exactly what you're bringing to the table. What you're bringing all over the table. And that might not be true. Okay. And it's something that porn has taught us, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh my God, you shoot this much, or, how big's your load, and all that sort of stuff. And actually there's advertising where like, make a bigger load. And it's like, and it's so funny. If you go to 4chan, and this makes me weep for the future for children. Because they're like college students and whatever on 4chan, and they'll have long discussions about how to increase the size of your load. And they're like, eat egg whites and do this and eat, and there's like some pill you can take. And I'm just like, I recognize it means nothing. Like if you're with somebody, that's not closing any deals. You know what I mean? Like nobody's like, oh my God, when I left, you couldn't move my hair. It was fucking amazing. It was so great. Like nobody's thrilled with that. There's no woman. And let me ask you, Leslie Von Stump, who does not have a microphone. I will bring you into this conversation at 9 in the morning.
Don't.
What? All right. Well,
What?
all right. Does that matter to you?
No.
Right. It doesn't matter to you, right? It does not matter to women how much you shoot all over the table. That means nothing to women. However, to men, to several species, men and retarded birds, it means a lot. Sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. But sometimes it's just a goddamn party trick, and you're like, oh, this is going to be awesome. So I, without going into too much detail, that was the point. But sometimes you'll do it just because it's like, you're like, hey, I want to see what happens here. I want to see, where are we at? So I thought to myself, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do here? Because I was about 2 hours in.
Oh my God.
An hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe. Because I had 2 hours to kill. It's not like I needed to write anything or any jokes or improve my life in some way. Is it any wonder that when I was on the road beating off for 2 hours in a hotel room, I came home to find my wife gone?
Oh my God.
That's why she waited until I was out of town. She's like, I'm going to go wait till because I know he'll be very busy jerking off somewhere and storing the knowledge for future use. But it had been a while, and so I was like, in my head, I was like, well, you know what? This is and again, I don't even know who this was for, but in my head, I'm like, I need to get a record of this, like to see exactly what happens. You don't? No, you clearly do not. Again, I recognize this is all aberrant behavior. I mean, and it's just silly. It's just silly, but I was bored. And it happened, and then I was seized by the opportunity where I went, you know what I can do? I'm gonna take a photo of this and see how it works. I'm in the middle of it. I'm on the bed and I'm ready to finish. And then I was like, I need to get a picture. I need to get a picture of this. And then part of me thought I was going to use my laptop and take that photo booth. Like, so I opened up Mac Photo Booth, and it's like, I've got my laptop like kind of on my side, and I'm like, oh my god. Wait, and I didn't like the angle at all. It was unflattering. And look, I got to be honest with you. Any photo angle of me is unflattering, particularly naked with my cock in my hand. That's just not a good look. So I'm trying to. So then and this is hard to do, because it's like, it's been almost 2 hours of this, and then and so I'm moving the laptop trying to get angles, but at the same time trying to continue jerking off, but then stopping, like as I'm going. I'm just you know what I'm doing? I'm like John Henry at that point, and I'm just fighting that steam engine. That's all I'm doing. I'm just throwing fucking coal into the fire and making it happen. Because now you're just literally, I'm just absent-mindedly jerking off at that point. I'm just like, just got to keep it happening. You just got to stay there and ready. And I was in no danger of it going away, but at the same time, I felt like every time I would edge and get close, I was just adding fucking distance. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. Boy, this is a horrifying story, right? How did we get here? I feel like David Byrne. Well, how did I get here? And the days go by. And it wasn't water flowing down. And it was days go by, there was not water underground. And this is clearly not my beautiful wife. So, fuck. Like, I'm torn. Like, I think this is funny and stuff, but I know there are people that are cringing and hating this, right? There have to be. There have to be people out there who are just like, God damn it, this is a terrible week for this. Or are there people who are just like, yeah, this is kind of funny or interesting? But this is, and again, I've had women write me and they're like, I kind of like listening to you because I get a guy's perspective of it. And men right now are just like, this is not my perspective at all. I don't start beating off at a desk and then take 9 laps and then jerk off in a bed and try to position a camera to capture the aftermath. That doesn't happen. That's the kind of shit you'd hear about in Seven. That's the kind of stuff John Doe did. I should move to Russia. With this fucking story, I need to move to goddamn Russia. I need to be in a building with a fucking webcam and just me. Just fucking ruining everything. Starting at the desk and walking over to the fucking mattress, and then we go. Get me to Russia. Get me to Mars! Because now I'm torn. Like, should I finish? I don't even know if I want to finish this. I guess I have to.
You have to finish.
But there are people who are... And that's exactly what I thought in the hotel room. But there's just got to be people who are like, they've turned it off already, though, right? Those people turned it off already. Anybody who just didn't know what they were getting into. There's no new people coming in this week. If you are a new listener, good, welcome aboard. And please know it's not like this all the time. And also, please know that I'm lying to you because it's like this all the time. Sometimes I try to set a jerk-off record. Sometimes I got retarded birds. I don't know what's going to happen. Folks, there's bees in my head, and when you let them go, who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. I talk at the speed of my head, and the speed of my head is as fast as the bee flies, or the swarm of bees fly, or that sky-darkening cloud of ravens with messages tied to their claws. As I emboss my wax seal, and I got to warn you, that is not wax. So I guess I have to finish this because I'm pretty much far gone already. So I'm trying to set up the laptop with angles. And look, here's the thing. I am a fan of going down on women. I mean, that's what I like. I mean, I really like it. And I love the view. Almost more than anything else, the first view is so gorgeous. It is so beautiful. Just thighs on either side like blinders, and you're looking straight ahead into life itself. And then you look past that and you can see expectant eyes. Oh, so gorgeous. Conversely, thanks to my laptop, I realize I'm not exactly a fan of the view that a woman would have in that anticipation. Because it looked awful. It just looked like a bratwurst with a flesh-colored tennis ball hanging off of it. And there's a seam, and then there's thighs, and also by the way, the same expectant eyes are in that angle. But when they're your own, it doesn't have the same kind of magic. Because you realize you're looking directly into your life. It's so bad. Catching a glimpse of yourself looking at your own cock on a laptop fucking camera? You reevaluate everything in an instant.
Oh my gosh.
Because I look and I see it, I'm trying to make the angle, and then I see my own face. I see my own face in the camera, and I went, oh, no, why is he there? He shouldn't be there. So I shuffled it to the side. I'm trying not to make it happen. I'm like, I can't use the laptop. It's terrible. Because again, the laptop is filming, and I didn't want to film anyway. I was going to try to catch a picture, but it was awkward to hold it and make it balanced. And also, again, as I've mentioned, folks, 2 hours worth. I don't even know where it's going to go or what's going to happen. And I'm going to fuck my laptop up because my laptop has to be like right there, kind of. So if I can't exactly. I'll try to point it somewhere else, I guess. But the whole point is to point it and see it. And I don't want to fucking ruin the laptop. So I'm like, God damn it. I've already ruined enough at this point. So I moved the laptop off. So I go, you know what? I can use my phone. I'll grab my phone. And this is your fault. You brought this up because you were like, you did. You said you were taking pictures of yourself jerking off. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. So again, if you're new and on board, and by the way, if you're new, you're gone. But if you're an old listener who's been with me from the beginning, if you've been with me for all 6 years, I'd like to thank you for your patronage and wish you good luck in the future because I know you'll never be back. I also recognize that when you meet me at live shows, you will never want to shake my hand again. Either of them. So I said I can get my phone. So I had to get up and I go grab my phone, and I'm like, all right, here it is. We're going to the finish line now. I went to the whip, folks. I won't lie to you. I went to the whip. We were in the home stretch. So I got the phone. Now here's the trick. Again, like I said, I don't want to film it, all right, because that's just awkward and awful. So I'm going to try to take a photo of it while it happens. Okay, because it's no good to just take. Because here's the thing. If you just if you do it and then take a photo of the aftermath, that's no fun for anybody at all. That's just a mess, right? I took a photo of a mess. I'm not going to get a Pulitzer for a photo of a mess. I'm not going to be able to sell J. Jonah Jameson on my photo of a mess for the Daily Bugle. He wants an action shot, goddammit. J. Jonah's like, get out there, Parker, and get me some action photos. So you got to have an action photo. So the problem is one of timing, because I got my cock in my right hand and my phone in my left, and which is awkward, by the way, anyway, because well, it's not awkward with the right hand, but the left. I don't use the phone with my left hand at all. I don't ever take pictures with my left hand. And then, like I said, that I will tell you this too. There is a problem of reflexes, because people always say you can't walk and chew gum at the same time, or you can't rub your stomach and pat your head. Well, when you're jerking off and you're holding your phone in your left hand, inevitably your phone, you make a jerk off motion with your left hand too. So it's like a teeter-totter. Like your hands are a teeter-totter. It's like you ever see people milk a cow and it's like jink, 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 jink. That's what I start doing. So I'm jerking off with my right hand and I'm holding the phone with my left, and my left arm, I'm trying to hold my left hand straight while I'm jerking off. And it's like I'm trying to angle it and finagle it and make it work. But it's like inevitably my left hand will start moving. It just moves in concert with my right hand. Like, one of us. So I have to stop and start. And I'm like, all right. So I'm trying to hold my left hand, and then I'm trying to figure out if I can just put it up in the front. I'm trying to figure out the best angle, because again, I don't want to film it. I have to take photos. But the problem with that, again, folks, I just have to keep snapping photos. That's the action part of it. I have to keep snapping photos and hope I catch something. I have to just go automatic shutter, folks. What I really need is I need that complex set of laser beams that Catherine Zeta-Jones slunk under in that movie with Sean Connery. So then when I just slide my hand through it, cameras automatically go off and they catch me shooting in mid-drop. There we go. They catch me in mid-blast. But I don't have a complex set of laser beams, although it seems like I should, really. You know what's funny? I'm on these guys for setting up a sliver house to catch a maid jerking them off. I've already got 9 different forms of technology trying to catch myself jerking off. I don't even bring a maid into the equation. This is for nobody but me. Because who would ever be impressed? Who am I to send that to? My wife left. And believe me, she wasn't impressed when I would send her stuff anyway. I'm at the hotel with my cock in my hand. Check this out. And she's like, yes, I hope you're having a good show. I mean, nobody wants their cock to be an eye roll. But when you start sending photos, that's inevitably what it's going to become. If you send too many of them, if you just send one, there's like a novelty. Yay! Again, not a yay story. So I'm trying to figure it out. So I have to just keep hitting phone. So I'm hitting the little camera and jerking off, and it's going, and then I will be honest, the noise was kind of bothering me. And you can turn that noise off, but I didn't. I was like, all right, I went to the whip, folks. We're finishing. But I'll tell you this too, after like 2 hours of having your hand in a singlet and it's pinning your cock to the mat, all of a sudden your cock is like, hey, you've cried wolf once too often, and I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to make you wait. I'm actually going to make you wait. Because you think you're just going to finish, and you're going to be like, all right, here we go. But your cock is just like, dude, you've beaten me into submission at this point. My cock is Randall Tex Cobb, and my hand is Larry Holmes. They just went 15 fucking rounds. They're not going to fucking make it happen. Fuck. Nobody's going to laugh at that but one guy. One guy will laugh at it uproariously. The rest of you can fucking Google it. And actually, this beat-off session that I had, this jerk-off session, that's the reason why Howard Cosell will no longer call network jerk-off shows. That's why. He's excused himself from it. He's done. Because, I mean, I have rampaged. My cock is Dooku Kim and my hand is Rainbow Boom Mancini at this point. It's fucking over.
Really?
I can't go to the whip, but I tried. So I go to the whip and I'm holding my phone and I'm trying and I'm just taking pictures. And the thing is, I foolishly had the HDR on my phone, which fucking adds like seconds. So I can't take fast photos. I can't take fast shutter photos. I can't nuke my cock at that point because I'm just hitting the button. It's like adding the HDR. So now I got to fucking slow down and my cock again is not cooperating anyway. So I had to take my phone and I take the HDR off. Because again, who needs a high def version of this? I just want an action shot. That's all I fucking need. So I'm jerking off and I got my phone and I've got my phone to the side. I should tell you that. And then all of a sudden I go, well, why are you doing this? You got to see what's happening. Because I thought the better angle would be from the side. But then I'm like, well, no, get it from the top. But I don't even know why the fuck I thought that would be a bad angle or whatever. Yes, I know, folks. You know what I need? I need a goddamn cock cinematographer. I need a cinematographer. That's what I need. Is anyone out there a cinematographer? Because I need one. I got to get David Lean to direct my next cock movie. The Wide Expanse of Lawrence of Arabia. I'll jerk off in the desert. So I got my right hand going to work, and then my left hand trying to take photos, and then my eyes, of course, are trying to focus on both. And I'll tell you this. Remember I said I saw my face in the laptop because it was facing back at me, and I could see just like, literally just like a fucking... All right, so whatever. I'll spare you. But now I'm just turning it in the background. But I will tell you this. Then you got to deal with like everything, like my feet are there, like because my whole lower body is there. And I'm like, so I got to tuck my feet under the covers. I'm like, I don't want to see that. That's disgusting, horrible. And again, this is all going through my head because I'm just trying to make it work, folks. And again, for nobody at all. I don't know who this is for. But that's how bored I was, and I just decided to leap right into it. And I'm pathological. I'm going to make it happen for myself. So, and again, it's not like I'm going to keep it and jerk off. I'm going to jerk off to action shots. I just wanted to see if I could do it. And it's one of those things where you like decide it's going to be a thing, and then it just seems like it's too much. But I'm already fucking invested. I am pot committed in this. I am pot committed in these action shots, and I got to make it fucking happen. And again, I've got that assignment from the Bugle. I don't want J. Jonah Jameson on my ass. So I've got it, and I'm holding the phone, and I'm trying not to shake it, and I'm jerking off, and I'm trying to shake that. And I go to the whip, and I'm going furiously, and I'm going fast, and then I can feel, and then, folks, I can see the finish line. And so I'm just hitting my thumb on the fucking camera. I'm like, and I'm just trying to take photos. And not even that fast. You still have to wait for it to fucking take photos. Because Apple had to put in that little thing where the photo goes away. Whee! So I have to wait for the photo to go away and then hit the button. I'm jerking off. And then I'm jerking off and I'm holding the phone and I'm ready and I'm ready to go, folks. I'm ready to fucking make it happen. I'm ready to make it rain right there in the goddamn room. I am ready to break the tape. I am ready to fucking Sebastian Coe and put my arms in the air. I am ready to Zola Bud and keep my shoes off and go ahead and hit the finish line. I am ready to Mary Decker Slaney this thing and fall down and cry on the track. I am ready to Usain Bolt everybody and lap these motherfuckers, although he would do it in 9 seconds. I did it in 2 fucking hours. I am ready to Bruce Jenner this motherfucking thing and pull my rickshaw across the finish line. And I'm jerking off and I'm holding the phone and I'm hitting the thumb and I'm going and I'm taking pictures and I'm jerking off and I'm hitting the phone and I'm hitting the thumb and I'm taking the pictures and I'm waiting for it to fucking happen. I'm waiting to get the best action shot and then I'm ready and I'm able and I'm set and it's go. And I jerk off and I just fucking I go off, folks, like fucking Mount St. Helens. First, there's an eruption of ash in the room. There's ash all over the place. And then 2 hours of anger and vitriol and walking around the room and hatred and hating of myself and the violation of my own cock. All of it comes forward in a huge burst. At least I think it was huge because, folks, I'm taking pictures and I'm jerking off and I involuntarily close my eyes as I come all over the place. Close my eyes in the middle of a photography session. J. Jonah Jameson is going to be furious. Because I was on autopilot at that point. I'm jerking off with my right hand and just hitting my thumb on the phone. It actually became like a weird game in my head where like bing, 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 bing. But I kept hitting my thumb, but I didn't see anything because I fucking closed my eyes. The whole point was to see it happen. The whole point was to see Noah put his arms in the air and everything get parted to the fucking side. That's not Noah, it's Moses. Actually, bullshit. Moses was there the first hour. I went, I'm going home. I got a burning bush to chat with. And then Noah had to show up because he's like, I heard there's a flood. Yeah, there's going to be a flood, Noah. Stick around. It's taken 2 by 2 hours for it to happen. So, but I will tell you this. I knew I was successful in one aspect because because I felt it on my shins. Like I knew I had like I could feel it landing on my shins and my ankles and I'm like, "All right, well I've accomplished what I wanted to do. It's just I'm obviously not going to have fucking photographic evidence of it now." So now I got to start over. Take the photos with my right hand this time. So I'm laying there and I'm just like, and look, we all know that shameful feeling when you're done jerking off or whatever and you're just like, God, I just did that again. Well, after 2 hours, it's just like, oh, wow, I just did that and that was crazy. And I got to take a shower and go meet people. And by the way, I'm not saying where this took place because I don't want any of the people who met me when I was on this trip to go, which day was it? Which they want to know. Because I've met a lot of people and I've been on a lot of trips. I refuse to say which one. I want all of you to wonder. I want everybody who's ever met me to wonder, was it that trip? Was this the night? The night that I met him? He looked a little tired. He was limping. There may have been chafing. But so I'm laying there just fucking, literally 7/8 naked, my feet tucked under a bedspread, sticky ankles. You okay? Sorry. You got coke out of your nose? All right. I apologize. So I'm laying there, 7/8 naked, laptop off to the side, left hand full of phone, right hand full of shame. And just trying to calculate how big of a tip I'm going to have to leave for the maid when I check out. Just to cover up my own fucking horrifying disgustingness. So I got to get out and grab a shower. So I got my phone and I go, well, Just go fucking delete all of those photos immediately, you idiot. Because again, it was in the moment, it's like, this is a great experiment. It's going to be totally hilarious. I'm like, go delete that shit before anybody finds it or sees it. Anybody at all. And not that anybody's ever going to see my phone, but who knows? Who fucking knows? So I grabbed the phone and I'm just like, I open up the camera roll and I started just delete shit can. And it's just these weird angles and it's just a hand blur. I mean, there hasn't been a camera developed yet that can capture the speed of my hand as I jerk off, folks. I got to be honest with you. When I go to the whip, I go to the fucking whip.
Oh man.
It is a fucking blur. So I'm to delete, and then and it's funny, you can see it all falling apart as the photos go. Like you in the opening, there's like the different angle and the side angle and then the other angle, and then you see my feet, and then you see all of a sudden my feet aren't there and they're tucked under the bedspread, and I just see the unfolding of my own onanism. You know what I mean? You just and a good cinematographer would have made sure that this was good from the jump, but you can just see it unfold. It's just terrible. There's just continuity problems. I had third act problems in my jerk off movie. And I'm deleting, and you just see it unfolding. And then you see me actually going to the whip, and you can actually see my hand getting more blurry. And I'm like, all right, well, this is what's happening. And I'm delete. And then, wait, hold the phone, Chuck. I delete like 30 pictures. And then number 31 shows up. And I'm not kidding you. I'm in the bed. I'm laying there, and I'm well, the lower half of me is now actually welded to the bed. I have to get someone to chip me out. But I look on the phone, and number 31 comes up, and I actually went. It's the way I feel the first people who saw Picasso's probably felt. It's the way I imagine anyone who ever saw Michelangelo's David for the first time, when their chest swelled with pride and they realized that there was true beauty in the world. Because, folks, number 31, it's the most glorious action shot anyone has ever captured of an orgasm. It is the cleanest picture of the dirtiest thing you can imagine. And it's frozen in time for all eternity.
Oh, God.
I actually want to find a museum and pitch that and just call it number 31 and frame it and put it on the wall. Because it is just... You hear about the right hand of God? Well, in this photo, the right hand of Mike is bringing forth a miracle. I couldn't even do it. I wanted to be all solemn and shit. I couldn't fucking make it happen. You dumbass. What a dumb fuck. And I laid there, and my fucking cock was there, and I got the phone, and I'm staring at this picture, and I heard angels sing, and the skies opened. And I laid back, and I opened my eyes, and I looked at the fucking ceiling, and I saw stuff dripping off the ceiling. And only one word came to mind. Yay! Yay. You guys can get me at mikeandmikeschmidtcomedy.com. You guys can be my friends at facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. I'm sending this fucking show to the Library of Congress. Our friend Dave Hernandez, who does all of the music and all of the artwork for the show, is available at facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez, or you can go to his website, artbydmh.com, artbydmh.com, and check out his portfolio and hire him to do cool stuff for you. He will do that if you meet his price. Our friend Lily Von Stupp is available at 3 different Twitter accounts, twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, twitter.com/MNTs, and twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest. You can get her at facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. But if you'd like to write her a personal note, and for the love of God, somebody out there send her a Madonna story. You can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com. Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Tease. Every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. It is the greatest burlesque show in the history of burlesque. It is the hottest burlesque show in the history of burlesque. It is the sexiest burlesque show in the history of burlesque. It is the most successful show in the history of burlesque. Probably not, but still, all of the rest apply. It is the most creatively successful burlesque show in the history of burlesque, and it is a, you know what, I wouldn't even say it's just a burlesque show. I would call it a variety show that happens to feature a lot of burlesque in it, because you have all sorts of performers who do comedy and fire eating and all sorts of nonsense.
Fire eating?
Don't you have a fire eater? Didn't you have a fire eater there once?
No, not at my show. No.
That was somebody in the audience.
Yes.
They were eating fire. And the proprietor of said show, the producer of said show, is my great friend, my bestest friend, Lily Von Stupp, who's here right now. Hey, Lily, how are you?
I'm good, Michael. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It is still the morning. We are still here in the morning in your place, and which is odd. And that was a lot of weird morning talk. Normally you got to wait till it's after dark for that kind of talk. Normally you wait till you pull your shades and you sit in the quiet shadows and you tell those stories to your children, but you don't tell those stories in the daytime. But I did. I shed a little light on it.
Shed a lot of light on it.
I did. But if you could see the photo, you'd know why. Oh, it's so perfect. Just a majestic rope. All right, so, Lily Von Stupp. Let's talk about the Monday Night Tease. I actually happened to make an appearance at this week's Monday Night Tease.
You did. You were in and out.
Yes, I was. Because unfortunately I could not stay, but I didn't want to go home, but I had to be up super early on Tuesday to go to the airport. But I wanted to make sure I saw you and also touch base with you on some things. I almost went to the Magic Castle this week, folks. I keep talking all the time about how I never go, and I kind of tease Lily about it. But I wanted to go so badly this week, I was willing to risk looking like a college professor to do so. I was going to wear black slacks and a black turtleneck and a jacket and go. Because I will tell you this, I asked Lily about going to the Magic Castle, and she was all for it. She could have helped me get in, but circumstance kept me from going. But I was going to wear my suit, because I own a suit, folks, one suit. And then I tried on my suit yesterday, and the jacket looks great. Folks, the pants don't. I had to hold them up. I got to have them taken in about a mile. It's crazy how big they are. So that's good. But the rest of the suit looked okay. But I was worn the suit coat with a turtleneck, and I asked Lily. She's like, "Yes, that's fine. You can go ahead and look like an idiot if you'd like."
No, I was really excited that you might make it.
I wanted to go. Eventually, I will.
I've been trying to get you to go to the castle for 7 years.
I know. I would have loved it.
I've known you.
Yes, but I will go. I mean, I'm not against it. It was just a clothes thing. But now that as we know, I've lost some weight and I look better in clothes because I have a blazer too, and the blazer looks terrible. It was ill fitting when it fit, but now it looks just fucking funky. It looks like you ever tear off too much foil and you have to wrap the whole bowl instead of just the top. That's what my blazer looks like. So bad. I'm just coated and swathed in this bad cloth. It's terrible.
This is the fucking funniest description.
Seriously, that's what it looks like. I'm all just double wrapped. So how was I saw part of the tease this week and I liked it. I saw our friend Snapper and Buddy on stage and I saw Red Snapper, of course, come out there and do her dance and grab her boobs and that was fun. But then it went right to intermission. I missed the first couple of acts and then I had to leave at intermission. It was depressing. But how was the rest of the show?
Fantastic.
Yes. And I saw you there. You were Business Lily working the door.
I was.
But then you were very friendly to me, which was very nice. Thank you.
I'm friendly to everyone.
Yes, but Business Lily can sometimes be abrasive and abrupt.
Was I?
You were none of those things to me. You were so lovely and talented and perfect. Thank you. So it was a good time. We had great while I was there, and then I had to split, unfortunately, because I had to be up super early. But the rest of the show went well.
Yes.
There were debuts. There were new people. There was older acts. It was just a fun time. Would you say that? Would I be right? Would I be correct?
You are correct, sir.
And you know what? I would say this. You have Lily has photographers who come to the show and photograph. Our friend Ginger was there. But your friend Sam was there, who I like. Sam had his camera perched up in the rafters.
Yeah, he's been mixing it up a little bit.
I dug that. That was like, I said to him, I was like, dude, that's totally cool. And he's like, it's so easy. I can just sit there and push the shutter. And I'm like, that's gorgeous.
He did a stationary from above, and last week he had done some shots from behind. He wanted to get some different feel and photos and perspective.
He did.
So yeah, I mean, he's a really good photographer. He's like, I'm tired of just shooting shots.
Should we plug him? Has he got a website or anything?
Yeah, shphotolab.com.
shphotolab.com is our friend Sam Prudencio.
Yeah.
Samuel H. Prudencio. He is a photographer, and he is available to photograph for you. But I like Sam. Good guy.
I think he's an incredible photographer. He does work with he did work with the Betty Page store, I think. He shot a bunch of catalog stuff for Elle Shoes. And, I mean, just, he's a working photographer. He's a great photographer. And the fact that he still sticks around and shoots is really nice.
Does good work.
Yeah.
And a nice guy.
Yeah.
We had breakfast when we went out a few weeks ago. Good guy. So that was shphoto.com? shphotolab.com. Go check it out if you need any headshots or anything like that. He's going to help you, and he's really good, our friend Sam. So who's at next week's tease?
Next week's tease is fun. There's a movie called Betty Page Reveals All.
Okay.
And it is an interview with Betty. Betty refused to be photographed as she got older. There's one photo of her in Playboy magazine. She looks just like she did. She still wears her bangs and everything. But she passed away, and about a year before she passed away, she did like 14 hours of interviews.
So she did 14 hours of interviews before she passed away.
Yeah.
And I repeat that in case you guys can't hear Lily because she doesn't want a mic.
Sorry. And so
It's okay.
Anyway, they did a film with photos, images, news stories, clips, video of her, and basically had her talk about her life. And it's an amazing movie, and we're doing a promo with them because it opens nationwide this week. And we're doing our Betty Page show. They were just thrilled that we brought that up. So I have 5 Bettys on Monday's show, plus a couple other acts as well. We're giving away some tickets. We're giving away some posters. It's going to be a really fun show.
So go see the movie Betty Page Reveals All. But if you want to go and get a taste of live tribute to Betty, come out to the Monday Night Tease next week. And there's 5 Bettys performing. Yep. Is it Madeline? Who does the...
Madeline is doing Jungle Betty. Isa's back with Black Cat Betty. Sheila Starr is doing Harem Betty from Teaserama, and April Showers is doing the
that's gorgeous.
Betty Yeager Playboy Betty.
Right.
Christmas Betty.
Who's the one I'm thinking of? The closer is she?
Madeline Sinclair is Jungle Betty.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's crazy.
But again, they've all had these custom costumes made that were the same stuff. Betty made all of her own bikinis.
I see.
That she wore. So they had all of this stuff recreated, and it's truly the time and effort that went into putting together that first show that we did was amazing. And so bringing it back again before the end of the year makes me very happy.
And tying in with the movie is going to be great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But honestly, look, all of them are great. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be fun. But you should just come to see Madeline Sinclair. If you were being told that Madeline Sinclair was doing her Jungle Betty, you would go and pay.
Yeah.
Because I think there might be 2 inches of clothing by the end of it.
I'm not even sure there's that much.
It's insane.
She's a tiny, tiny girl.
Yep.
And she's got the legal limit of what you can wear.
It's
on.
insane.
I mean,
It's
yeah.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
So go check that out. Tickets are available at brownpapertickets.com for all of the Monday Night Teases that are coming. You can go to facebook.com/Monday Night Tease to join up and get all of the upcoming information about shows that'll be here in the next few weeks. And Brown Paper Tickets, search Lily Von Stupp, search Monday Night Tease, and also the Hollywood Burlesque Festival is coming up. As I mentioned, I may be bouncing there. So that'll be in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be great. How's it coming? We're home stretch on that.
Home stretch, tickets are selling. If you're interested in coming, buy a ticket.
And are VIP tickets still available?
I think there's like 4.
Okay, there's a few VIP seats available, but there are regular seats available as well. And I mean, there's not a bad seat in the venue. It's really great. Lily's done so much work, and I mean, it's. I've felt that these past few months that I've kind of been imposing upon Lily for her time because she's gracious enough to go ahead and do this show with me because she's part of the team. I couldn't do it without her, and I'm so appreciative that you've taken the time to help me do what I want. And so anytime you need any help doing what you want, you know that you can turn to me. And so I will do. I think I'm picking up coconut water. I'm doing a bunch of shit for the festival. I'm trying to, at least. But what I really want to do is get people to buy tickets. And if you tell Lily I sent you, that'd be even better. But buy tickets, go to the show, have a good time. You'll see me there. I'm going tonight. Whatever night Dizzy's there, I'm going for sure. Friday for sure. And then there's other, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is the final party at the Tease. So tickets are available now. Go to HollywoodBurlesqueFestival.com for any and all information regarding the show. Brown Paper Tickets is where you can get tickets for the festival. A few VIP seats are left, but go ahead and just get regular seats. And it's just a good time. Lily's in the closing number, which was choreographed by several of her friends. And it's just going to be a really amazing, it's going to be a culmination of a life's work for my friend Lily.
Pretty much.
So I'm hoping that you will go there and help her celebrate it and realize that that she's a success at what she does.
Aww.
You are. And you know what? They don't even need to come to prove that. You're a success at what you do. The festival itself is going to be amazing. But I want people to be there to live it with you. Because I'll be honest, you pay money and every act is going to be there. It's going to be fantastic. The atmosphere is going to be great. But it is worth the price of admission to see the look of achievement on Lily Von Stupp's face when it's over. Because she deserves it. So please go in and see my friend Lily and see the good things that she's brought. Go to Facebook.com/The40YearOldBoy and be my friend. And join the Westside 86 Jokers fan club page. We are at 699 members, folks. And I don't know how to keep track of this, but I will tell you this. The 700th member who joins, which should be, I don't know, right now we're at 699. So if you can join and become the 700th member, because I have to let you in, Adam has to let you in, or our friend Adam Welker, who started the club, or Lily. Lily, can you go and check and make sure it's still at 699? So it is? You're there? Okay. The 700th member gets every download I have.
Woohoo!
Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, for the life of Schmitty. Schmitty comes alive. I will send them to you. And if you already have them, that's great. Then if you want, let's put it this way. All right, let me change that. Because a lot of you are really cool out there and you've already purchased things and you've done those sorts of things for me, and I'm glad. 700th member gets whatever you want. If you want a download set, you get it. If you want all the downloads, you get them. If you want a shirt instead, the yurt shirt, you get it. If you want an older shirt, you can ask me about them because I do have a bunch of older shirts. And just give me a size and I'll pick one. We can have a grab bag, whatever the fuck. If you're the 700th member of the fan club, but here's the thing. You have to join and one of us has to let you in, and then you have to post that you're the 700th member. Because we're at 699. I won't let anybody in, because I might get a bunch of people. We'll only put one person in, and then that person has to post on the wall, I'm the 700th member, and Mike, I'm so happy, whatever the fuck. Send me a cool note and a nice message and say hi to everybody there, and then send me a note with your address or tell me whatever you want, and you'll get it. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. So go to the Westside 86 Jokers page, and then, you know what? After that, everybody else can join. But if you're 700, it just seems appropriate to go ahead and give people something to be 700. So do that. Again, follow me at twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. I don't have any live dates coming up. I want to try to be doing a lot more live dates in the future. Hopefully in 2014 I'll be out and doing stuff. I want to thank a few people. Oh, let's plug these. I'm on this week's Podcast Squared with Andrew is the host. Andrew's a great guy. He was really cool. He called me. I did the interview in my car. in between Travis barbecue shifts. I just sat there and talked via my Bluetooth, so I hope it came out audio-wise. But Andrew was nice enough to ask me, and he asked some really interesting questions, and I think we got in depth a little bit more than I do on other shows. So go to Podcast Squared and download that. There's a Dork Forest out there with wrestling that's still lurking that I'm on. And I recorded another show, but I don't have a release date for it yet. But as soon as I do, I will tell you when that's going to be. And I talked about Rob Matsushita, the 10 minutes about our favorite movie. That's available. 10 minutes about your favorite movie. That's available now. I talked about Reservoir Dogs, so go ahead and pick that up. Our friend Rob Matsushita is a good guy as I'm trying to talk fast because it's morning. I got to get out of here before the afternoon closes in upon us. And I'll tell you this. It's funny. I was on a road trip this weekend, and people were asking me, they're like, why are you gone? Where are you? Because I took a plane. Everybody's like, what's happening? Are we going to hear about it later? Well, yeah, you'll hear about it, but it was the rare time when I go out of town when I'm not working. Here's what happened. I got a letter from American Airlines. And as you know, folks, I'm in tight with those people. I'm high class. I'm elite. And when I say I got a letter, I mean a raven came to my house with a wax embossed letter and dropped it at my house. And so I read it, and it said, hey, you are nearing the end of the year and you may lose your elite status. We wanted to let you know so you can go ahead and try to get it taken care of. So I thought I could buy some miles because they sell miles. So I figured I could buy them. So I went to the page, and luckily I read the fine print that nobody ever reads. If you buy miles, you can't use them toward elite status. You can use them toward trips, but you can't use it toward your elite status. So I was like, uh-oh. So I actually had to call American Airlines and say, what do I need to do? Where am I at miles-wise? How does this have to be figured out? And it's funny, I would have never known you could do this, except last year, Doug Stanhope, at the end of the year, was like, hey, I'm about to lose my platinum status or whatever. So he took 5 trips. He went to Norway and flew home. Literally, he did these things where he just wound up back in Arizona after 6 days. He just flew to fly. And then I found out my friend Graham Elwood does the same thing. Graham flew from Chicago to Milwaukee and hung out in the airport for an hour and then flew home. Because you do it to keep your elite status. So I talked to American Airlines, and they were like, well, let's do the math. And I already had the trip to Austin on the books. I had the trip to Seattle on the books. And they said, well, you're this much mileage short, and you get this many bonus miles, and you got to figure this out. So I said, all right. And I wanted to go to Denver. I was going to go to Denver and see my buddy Dennis, but it turned out that he was overseas when I could schedule a trip. And with the holidays coming up, it's prohibitive, the cost on the flights. So it had to be sometime in November before the holidays hit, and it had to be somewhere close on the West Coast. And like I said, I wanted to do Denver, but it didn't happen. And I already have a Chicago trip. I'll be in Chicago in December for 5 days. So I had that on the books. So they're like, well, you need this amount. And it just happened. And again, it was just the weirdest thing in the world. But it just so happened that Seattle worked perfectly to go back. Even though I already had a trip to Seattle on the books to go do a show there, I knew I was only going to be in town for one day. I was arriving Saturday morning and then leaving Sunday morning. And I've been to Seattle twice and never seen anything because, both times I showed up and bailed. So I went, fuck it. I'm going to go to Seattle. It makes sense with money. And it makes, because it was only I forget how much it was, but it was a flight on the West Coast, so it didn't cost me a ton of dough. And it worked out mileage wise. So I flew to Seattle. I went up there, got a hotel. I made a mistake because I stayed a couple of days. I should have just gone for 1 or 2 days, but I stayed 3 days. The third day killed me. But it worked out fine. Here's why. Because I showed up Friday, and Cheeve, our friend Paul Cheever, who I had met a couple of weeks prior, I contacted him and I go, this is ridiculous. I'm coming back to Seattle. Can you give me a lift? He's like, yes. So he picked me up at the airport. And he, with a sign that said Schmidt and a Propel in his hand. And then he took me to we were going to go to my hotel, and we took me to my hotel, and then we went out to dinner. We had great sushi. Really, really good sushi in town. And it was kind of cool to just be in town and not have to do anything, really have nothing scheduled. So we were going to go to the Space Needle. There was a bunch of stuff we were going to do. And then Sunday came, and it was, I was watching the Bears in the hotel, and I contacted it. I'm like, look, I'm going to have to wait for the Bears to end because I'm stupid. But then finally he came to pick me up, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go to the Space Needle because I've been up in tall shit before. I've been up in the... Seriously, I was in the Arch in St. Louis. What could it be? You get up there and you're like, wee, look at buildings. High stuff doesn't do anything to me. I should have done it just to say I did it. But what I really wanted to do was I wanted to go to the Pikes Market. Pike's, the whole fucking, I forget what it's called. Pike's Open Market. I don't know. Um, oh, and I should say this. I want to thank Paul because Paul, remember when I talked about Dirty Lily and riding in a sidecar and it was Dirty Lily and Crazy Mike? Well, our friend Paul Cheever made a song.
Ridiculous.
He fucking mixed me and Lily into a song called Dirty Lily, which is available at the Westside 86 Jokers page. We pinned it, so it's right at the top. And also, let me say this real quick. Our friend Jack Maxwell out of Florida also wrote a song called You Care, Everybody Cares, which was influenced by the podcast. And I want to thank him so much for doing that. And he posted it on the page, and then I put it on my personal page, so you can actually hear it online. And then he printed the lyrics, which are great. I mean, and so I wanted to thank him so much for doing that. Thank you, Jack Maxwell out of Florida. He's our good friend. I met him when I was in Atlanta. And he's always just a friend of the show, and he went ahead and did that. So thank you, Jack. And then Paul did Dirty Lily, which I've pinned now at the top of the Joker's page because it's hysterical. It's only like 2 minutes long, I think, or a minute and a half, but it's just me mixed in. Because again, he runs the band, the Chupacabra, who are great. He gave me 2 more CDs when I saw him.
I love it.
I'll get them. I've got all 4. But it was so cool, and so he did he played it for me in his car. He's like, "Did you hear this?" And he played it. I was like, "God damn it, that's awesome." So then Sunday, I'm like, "Dude, let's go to Pike's Market." So he goes, "Yeah, it's fine." So and the reason I wanted to go, they have a thing called Pike's Fish Market, and every time they do a Monday Night Football game there or any sporting event is there, they go to Seattle and they go to the fish market because the guys throw fish at one another. They're like, "Hey, somebody bought a trout," and they go, "Yay!" and they throw the trout at one another and they wrap it up. Well,
So weird.
I told Paul, because it's a show. It's like a big show.
No, it's just weird.
So I told Paul, I go, "Dude, I want them to throw a fish at me." And he's like, "Well, I don't know if they do that with people." And I go, I don't care. I'm going to go there and see. So we walked through the market, and it was fucking amazing. It's just, if I lived there, I would be there every goddamn weekend. It's just people handing out samples of apples and noodles and fucking jelly, and I mean, but the first ever Starbucks is right there. And that's funny because you just see the sign, you're like, "Yay, Starbucks," and then you walk away. But there's people that just line out the fucking door. Because I don't know if they serve prices like maybe they use the throwback prices. I don't know, but it was a line out the door. But the market, people are selling their little fucking tchotchkes and fucking shirts and wooden ducks and all sorts of fun stuff. I found a 5-pound Hershey bar there. He and I went to a grocery store and I found a 1-pound Hershey bar. I actually took a photo and put it on Facebook holding it. And I was like, fucking 7-ounce license plate of chocolate? Fuck that. Here's a 1-pound bar. But here's how stupid they are, Hershey's. The 1-pound bar is $10. I can go buy 2 7-ounce bars for $5.
Not about the money.
Well, it is for me. Because I have the science of chocolate and math.
Well, I've been to the Hershey, Pennsylvania store, and they sell like a 10-pound one there, and it's $700.
Isn't that funny?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, the 5-pound one was $60. Because
Yeah.
we were down at the market. We went downstairs and I saw the 5-pound. I go, I need a fucking photo of that because it just made funny. Yeah. It made sense that I had taken the 1-pound photo and then 2 days later, there's the 5-pound. And I'm just Hershey's is just stalking me at this point. They're just like, we're gonna get this motherfucker off the wagon. We're gonna get him off the fucking chocolate wagon. So we go to the market. We walk through getting samples. This woman handed me a chocolate noodle. She's like, "Hey, you want to try a chocolate noodle?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." Which, by the way, fantastic name for a band.
Chocolate noodle?
Terrible name for a porn star. But she's holding them out, so I grab it and I put it in my mouth and I chew it, and it's not cooked. It's like a hard chocolate noodle. But they think because it's chocolate that supersedes the cooking thing. Fuck you. It was nasty. It was like, you know what it tasted like? Super stale Cocoa Puffs. Because it's a goddamn noodle. So I'm like, that's exactly what it tastes like. Like, I'm biting and I'm like, oh, awful. Hated the chocolate noodle. Walking through the market, meeting everybody, saying hello, as I often do. I took a bunch of pictures of it because they had, the fish market. So they had uni in its shell, and then they had a bunch of scraped uni shells. And it's like when I was in Chinatown in New York, I took a bunch of pictures. They had buckets of frogs and all sorts of crazy shit. Awesome. But these guys just had regular fish. So I get to the Pike's Fish Market, and there's a guy kind of patrolling the outside, and people will buy a fish, and he picks it up, and he's like, 7-pounder for Joe, 7-pounder for Joe. And then he throws it to the other guy, and the guy wraps it. And everybody's like, yay, they throw fish. So we're lurking a little bit, and I take a picture of the fish. I take a picture of the guys. I take a picture of the market. And then I get Paul to take a picture of me in front of the fish. And I'm waiting to see if they throw him to anybody, but they don't. They're just throwing it to each other, the workers. So there's a dude, and he looks like he just came off of Deadliest Catch. I mean, he's got the perfect beard and a great winter hat on, and he's got the overalls on. And he's the guy walking around throwing the fish to the guys behind the counter. So I walk up to him and I go, hey, can you throw a fish at me? And he's like, yeah, you want to buy one? I go, no. I go, I'm not from here, dude. I can't fucking buy one. He goes, where are you from? I go, from Los Angeles. He goes, well, why do you want me to throw a fish at you? I go, for the internet, for pictures, for nonsense. Because I think that should just explain away everything. Just because I think it's stupid, I think it'd be hilarious if you throw a fish at me. You know what I mean? It's like, honestly, that's what I said. For nonsense. For the internet, whatever. And he looks at me, and it's so great because it like dawned on him, and he's looking at me, and I can see the gears turning, and he looks at me, and he goes, I'll throw a fucking fish at you. I said, that's awesome. So then I'm standing there, and he goes, get your ass up there. And I go, well, you're going to throw it to me here, right? And he goes, no. He goes, get your ass up there. I go, in the booth? Like, they're not going to yell that I'm in there. And he goes, no, just fucking get your ass up there. All right. So I walk behind the counter to where the dudes are working, where they, because they catch the fish and wrap them there. So I'm standing up there with I'm on the platform. I'm on the fucking fish platform. And Paul goes, I'll film it. He's going to film it. So Paul, I see him standing there with his fucking microphone. The guy goes to talk to him, the fucking stocking cap dude. So I'm standing there, and he looks at me, and he goes, all right. He goes, because I'm facing him, and I'm waiting for him to throw it. He goes, no. He goes, stand like you're in a batter's box and put your hands out. So I stand there, and I got my hands out like this, and I'm waiting, and I'm fucking, and in my head, I'm like, dude, you better catch this, because now everybody's watching. Everybody's watching, and I got to catch it with my hands, and he was smart, because I was going to just catch it with my chest, like you would like a pass over the middle. It's a raw fish. It's a goddamn raw fish. I'm going to catch it on my sweatshirt. Awful. So he's right. He's like, put your hands out to the side. So I'm standing there, and I look around, and everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. People are stopping because they saw me go back there. They don't know who the fuck I am. And the worker guys aren't saying a shit to me. They're just walking around wrapping fish, whatever. And I'm standing there holding it, and this dude just rears back, and I see him. He's got a fish in his hand, and he just goes, T for Mikey! And I don't know what the fuck that means, but obviously he got my name from Paul. And so the best part is like, it's that thing where when you go to a sushi bar and they go, Shamashe, and then they all say it, Shamashe, whatever the fuck that means. Well, he goes, T for Mikey. And then all the worker guys go, T. And so did I. I go, T for Mikey. And I've got my hands out, and he just fucking whips this fish at me. And the best part is, so Paul is filming it, and it comes flying at me, and I just snag it right out of fucking midair. I grab it two-handed, and then I just put my fucking hands in the air. And folks, here's where being me gets to be a bit of a challenge. I'm not enough celebrating. Like because honestly, part of me wanted to spike the fish and fucking like just point. And just do like a stool look, like I just caught a fucking fish touchdown and just wham and just fucking stare off into the distance. But I'm like, dude, they're not like, you're not paying for this fish. They're probably still going to sell this fish. That was my thought as the fish was in the air. But then I got my hands out, the fish comes, and I snag it with both hands, and I put both hands in the air. And here's what I do, folks. I have a raw fish, a raw headless fish in my hands, and I pull it down, and I take a huge bite out of it. Because I thought it would be hilarious. So I take this bite, and I immediately, in my head, I go, what are you doing? Like this weird alarm goes off, and I just spit it out. I immediately spit it out. But I took a bite out of its fucking belly. I'm like, boom, and I spit it out. And in like one motion, like because I was gonna be like, yeah, rip it apart, and then be like, you can see I panic. I panic instantly, and I bite it, and then I spit it out, and then I've got the fish, and I turn around, and the guy working there is just like, yeah, and I just hand him the fish because there's nothing to do. People clap, they go, yay, and then I hand him the fish, and he looks at it, he doesn't say anything because I thought in my head I went, you're paying for this, you're immediately paying for this, but I hand him the fish, and then I got nothing to do, so now I'm standing. Now the moment is gone. Like nobody's happy anymore. I thought they'd be like carrying me out on their shoulders or like all excited, but people kind of clapped when I caught it, and then I bit it, and then I handed him the fish, and you can see I don't know what to do, and so I just go, and I clap like 4 times, and then I turn around and I point at the guy and be like, yeah, and I fucking chest bump the guy who works at the fish joint, chest bump him. And you can hear me. The best part is you can hear me go, yeah. And when I say you can hear me, it's because Paul filmed it. So I come out from behind the booth, and I'm like, I'm jazzed. Like, I'm all excited, except for the fact that I've got fish guts and like a scale on my mouth. I can feel it. The film was like nasty. So he's with me, and he's got the phone, and he starts to show me the video, and I see the video, and it's fucking gorgeous. It's so gorgeous because he has like an iPhone, the best one now, the 5S or whatever, and I guess it has super slow motion that you can film it in. Yeah. He goes, dude, I filmed it in slow motion. I go, what? I go, did you also get regular motion? He goes, yeah, I got them both. So he shows it to me, and it's just like, you just see this slow motion. The guy's like, GT for Mikey. And the fish goes flying like it's slow mo. And it's like, I just go, part of me is like, we're going to put that up, but you have to dub in the Chariots of Fire theme. You have to bing, 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 bing. But I wanted the fast motion up. So I'm like, we can't put them both up. So Paul starts fucking with his phone. Because Paul's a genius. And finally he goes, hey, look at this. He goes, I cleaned up the beginning and the end, and I did. So the video, it's got TT for Mikey, and the guy, and when he throws the fish, all of a sudden the slow motion kicks in, like it's in fast motion. Then all of a sudden, like, it becomes the Matrix. I'm in the fish Matrix. It's fucking amazing. I take the red pill and the blue pill, and the fucking fish comes flying at me in slow motion. And you know what? I know kung fu. I know kung fu. I'm in the goddamn fish Matrix. It comes flying at me. I snag it in slow motion, then put my hands in the air in fast motion, and then I bite it in fast motion like an idiot. But you can see the video. It's on my Facebook page. Go find it. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And he shows it to me, and I wanted to run or in circles. I was so happy, like Curly, just like whoop, 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 whoop. I was so happy. So I grabbed Paul by the fucking collar. I'm like, that was fucking amazing. I'm like so thrilled. And he's like, why am I hanging out with this idiot? So then we had to post it on Facebook, and I did immediately. And I posted other pictures of me, like, because we were eating and hanging out. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. This is a stranger. This is a guy I don't know. And just because of this show, I was able to connect with him. And that's how I feel about all you guys. Like, I'm able to have such cool things happen where, I go to a fucking a Wizards game with Joel and then go out for fucking Vietnamese food after. And I've seen Frances in Philadelphia, and I've seen her in Liana's come to DC and all these different places, and Sarah J. And I mean, and then fucking go to the Packer game with Jill to go hang out with her. And then hang out with Jill everywhere. It's so great to meet you people and fucking have those cool things happen. Jason and Toby, fucking Jason and came and saw me in Denver, and Lily also came to Denver. I'm so excited and so happy. And I that's what I said to Paul. I go, I'm so lucky this kind of stuff happens, because Paul, again, he doesn't know me. He just knows this fucking show. And he was willing to go with me and do all this stupid stuff. It was crazy. And it was funny. I even said to him, I go, man, I wish they had pierogies in this market. He goes, dude, they do. I go, what? He goes, they have pierogies. It's a place over here. So he takes me through like 9 hallways. He goes, there's also a thing called the Gum Wall. I went and took a picture at the Gum Wall in Seattle, which it's just literally gum. Millions of wads of gum. Yes, I agree with you. I feel the same exact way. I go, dude, if I fall or touch this wall, just leave me laying here and kill me. But but there's a picture of me at the Gum Wall with Paul. And then, so then we go looking for the pierogies. He's like, yeah, it's right around this truck. And we go over, and you know what it was? It was a pierogi place. It was called Pierogi. I go, dude, those aren't pierogies. It's pierogies. He's like, oh, that's fine. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, because it was still delicious. Pierogies are like pastry with stuff stuffed inside them. Pierogies are noodles. But who cares? I just had the fucking greatest time. And then I got pictures of the sunset over Puget Sound. Because I was able to finally do some Seattle tourist stuff, and all with Paul, who again brought me Propel and yogurt and bananas when he met me. Took me to a grocery store so I could get more Propel and bananas that I didn't eat or finish and left for the maid, in lieu of a mess. So man, thanks. And so I want to do more live stuff in 2014, and I love hanging with you guys and meeting you guys, and anybody who likes the show likes me, and I like you because I like me, and if you like me, I love you because Jesus do I love me. So thanks to fucking Cheeve, and thanks for doing Dirty Lily, and thanks for just making my weekend in Seattle the greatest. I had such a fun time. I did get sick at one point, but who cares? It was fun. I had a good time. It was amazing. And now I will tell you this, folks. I mentioned earlier that we were recording early today, and there was a reason, and I would tell you what that reason was. Well, a lot of you people out there might be aware of this. New people are not aware of this, although if you're new and you're still here at the end of the show, good for you. I'm sure a lot of you have actually filled your iPod with bleach to get the memory of this show out of it, but if you've stuck around to the end, here's what I have to tell you. I'm recording early because Lily is very busy with the Hollywood Burlesque Festival, and she has to get the show edited and taken care of and stuff because she's going to be busy tomorrow, as am I. I think I told you folks that I went to Wheel of Fortune a few months ago. And a lot of you asked me what happened and when will I be on and when will it air and what's the story, and you've been taping the show, and I do appreciate that. Thank you. But I did have a non-disclosure agreement with those people, and I can't say anything about it. So I'm not going to go into full detail, but I can tell you this. I did go to Wheel of Fortune a few months ago, and I was there at their behest. They wrote me, and they're like, you've got to come in. And I went into the Sony studios at Culver City, And I was there for a full day of taping of Wheel of Fortune because they called me in as an alternate contestant. They mentioned to me that if you live in Los Angeles, they would call you to be an alternate before anything else because they need people there in case someone gets sick or someone gets nervous or someone can't make it. And you're there on deck just in case that happens. So I spent the entire day there. I got there at 7:15 a.m. and I left at 6 o'clock at night, and I watched all of the tapings that day. And I will tell you this, I was not involved. I never got to play Wheel of Fortune. I got to go there and hang out and be an alternate and see things happening and see people play and watch games. And it's funny, the shows that I was present for have already aired. They aired in October. I watched them. Actually, I knew it was going to happen. I knew who was going to win. It was fun. So I only tell you that because a lot of you have still written me. You write me all the time and you're asking questions and you're taping the show and you say, if I see it, Mike's not on in the first 5 minutes, I just fucking delete it. And that's funny and it cracks me up, and thank you. So the bottom line is I did go there as an alternate contestant, and I never was chosen, so I didn't get to play. However, I was leaving Green Bay a couple of weeks ago. Our friend Jill dropped me off at the airport, and as I got to my gate, I sat down, and I looked at my phone, and I had an email from Wheel of Fortune. One of the contestant coordinators had contacted me and it said, Wheel of Fortune taping. That was the header. So I opened it up really quick, and it turned out they've invited me to be a contestant on the Wheel of Fortune. But I had to call and confirm right away. And I'll tell you what, the email arrived 5 minutes before I sat down at my gate. I called them immediately. And they're like, can you make it on this date? I said, yes. They said, you sure? Yes, yeah. And I tried to be as cool about it as I possibly could, but I was super excited. Because I am taping my edition of the Wheel of Fortune right now. Thursday, November 21st. As you listen to this, folks, please know that I am on set in Culver City playing Wheel of Fortune. That's right, goddammit. I am right now looking at Vanna White. I am talking to Pat Sajak. I am asking for an X. I am asking for an X, folks. I know you don't think that I will, but I'll ask for a goddamn X. I will look and go, hey, Pat, can I have a Q? And he's going to go, what the fuck? Seriously? I'm going to be the first guy to make Pat Sajak say fuck on the Wheel of Fortune because I'm going to ask for a Q right out of the box. Right out of the you know what? If the phrase is right out of the box, I'm okay. I'm actually okay. Because I asked for my X, there I see it, boom, right out of the box. What is that, the first puzzle? Right out of the box, and I solve it right out of the box because I asked for the X right out of the box. I'm changing the game. I'm changing the game, Moth. I'm changing the game, Sajak. I'm changing the game, Vanna. I am right now standing there. You know what? This whole show's been about me with my cock in my hand. Guess what? Right now, I've got my wheel in my hand, motherfucker. I got a wild card in my hand. I got half a car in my hand as I stare off into the fucking distance with the stew look. Yeah, that's right. You don't think I'm going to do that? You know it's going to fucking happen if I don't lose everything. But I'm not going to lose everything, right? I'm going to win. I'm going to go Z. I'm going to go Q. I'm going to go X. I'm excited, folks. I can't wait. So right now... I'm human lunch meat. I'm nobody. I'm baloney in pants. God damn it. Why do I think I'm somebody special? Why do I think I'm anybody interesting? I'm not. All I bring to the table is everything that everybody else does, but louder. Don't hit snooze on me, motherfucker. I am a hilarious noise machine. I'm going to tell you this. You need to sit down and reevaluate your life if you can pull 2 midget Indian wrestlers out of your skull at any time. You know what? I don't even need you people here. Seriously, I do this. I love me. I don't give a fuck what you think, how you think. God damn it, I'm the greatest. I can't go for Schmidt. No, no. No can do. 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 No can do.